This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. We create and broadcast these episodes live on native lands. We acknowledge these are unceded lands, with diverse communities maintaining connections to these places, and recognize their ancestors, their elders, both past and present, and future generations. Learn more by visiting the Native American Rights Fund website at narf.org. The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present The Time of Thin Blood, a Vampire the Masquerade duet chronicle featuring Griffith Park and Desiree Baldwin.
Hi.
You alright?
I have like pen on my fingers out of nowhere. I don't know where this came
Got pen
from.
ink on your fingers?
I don't know what this is.
Huh.
It just appeared. My hands were perfectly clean before this. I don't know what's happening.
It's because we're back in the world of darkness. The darkness
Do you mean like
is
I time
seeping
traveled
through
somewhere, or the darkness is seeping through my skin?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Okay, well,
shall we acknowledge that this is take two?
you just did. There's no question. I really didn't even ask.
I know, it's my passive aggressive way of asking a question, I guess.
Yeah, take two.
Yeah.
Not really.
Not fully.
No, not even fully. Not even like a little bit. It was just us blathering for about 50 minutes, and then you kind of got into the swing of things.
Well,
and then I noticed that...
To be fair, it was us blathering for about 30 minutes, and then we played for about 20, I think.
I don't know.
Or 10?
10 minutes.
Okay, so
it was 10
we
minutes.
blathered for 45 minutes and then played for 10.
Yeah, and I mean, we were just talking about things, and then I noticed something flashed on the screen where we were on the laptop that we used to record, and disk space had been...
maxed out.
And then there was no backup recording of whatever the hell we recorded.
It was a crash.
It's fine.
It crashed.
That happens from time to time. It's not a big deal. But
It's
it
not.
doesn't happen a whole lot.
No. And you feel like today will be a little more higher energy,
I think the
energy anyway.
I think it's better energy.
Okay.
There were other things that were preoccupations while we attempted to delve. And sometimes we can get through that. And it's just like, okay, like whatever. But it was really tough. There was a lot going on that day.
There was.
I was kind of trying to pack a little bit too much into one day.
Probably.
But
hello. We are back. This is a classic background track. But
for our sessions,
our ambient vampire duet background music. And yeah, that's what we're doing. We're back in the world of Nightlife. We're going to be playing some Nightlife here. And specifically,
I was like, who?
With our old pal.
He's no one's friend.
He's no one's friend. Aaron Evans.
Aaron Evans, yes. The vampire.
The vampire Aaron.
Yes. Vampire Aaron.
Vampire Aaron. So, it's been a long time in the making.
Yeah, you want to talk about that?
I do, a little bit. I promise not to go on for 45 minutes. I'll restrain myself a bit more.
Yeah, that was the whole
time.
recording, was just you talking about this timeline and your obsession with it.
So. I feel like that's a fascinating topic, but me. Sometimes I like to just hear myself talk. So,
are you serious? I don't think you're like that. I don't think you're like that at all, actually. I'm going to just ask you to walk that back.
I was joking.
You were joking.
Yes.
I don't think you do that.
But I think because it's been a while, a little bit of prelude, if you will, is important.
Okay.
So we last heard from Mr. Evans in World
Sure.
in 1992, April specifically.
Yes.
We last heard from him in Our World in January of a certain year, 2020. So it's been a little over 5 years since you played Aaron.
Sure.
And I know you're having a little bit of a reacquaintance of your own, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, getting to know the character again.
Right.
But you're like, where are you going with this?
I don't know where you're going with this.
Well, I'm just laying down the background, the context, because frankly, I know a lot of our longtime listeners will be anxiously awaiting this new installment. We're aiming to do a Final Nights trilogy. So this would be the first chronicle of that trilogy. But, we'll see.
What?
We never have it. It's never predetermined. I love all these things that I bring up that we talked about.
I'm so confused right now because I thought that the Final Nights is just going to be a one-off.
Right.
Like, can we just do Final Nights, just a one Final Nights, and then we're going to get into a trilogy for Modern Nights?
That was the standing plan for years.
And then what
so
happens?
I understand why you would be confused. But then you yourself said,
true.
You said, I think it would be much more interesting to do a trilogy of Final Nights.
I agree.
And then if we get, yes, you're agreeing with yourself. And then if we get through that,
right.
if everyone survives intact, we can move on into the Modern Nights and just see what that looks like. Maybe it's one chronicle. Maybe that's another trilogy. We just don't know.
That's right. That sounds like something I would say.
Exactly. And I said, you know what? You're right.
I am right. It's true. Because Final Nights are fucking weird.
They are fucking weird. And it would be a lot to try and fit everything into one chronicle.
So much. And there's a lot that happens, lore, and also just in the world we're creating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, why not give it room to develop?
Yeah, exactly.
See what happens.
Exactly. So...
Okay, now I remember.
Thank you. Okay, good. And the second trilogy is going to be the third Amy Patterson chronicle. Yeah. So it's not all Aaron Evans all the time.
Right.
But we're going to start with Aaron.
Yeah.
And it's appropriate that you're reacquainting yourself with the character because we're going to do a little bit of a time jump. And he'll have been in torpor for some amount of time, which you will discover.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. It'll be a little like Back to the Future style where you're going to have to grab a newspaper out of a trash bin and be like, 1955, and that kind of thing.
I hope we're not going backwards.
2050.
That would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
2050, guys. I don't know if I want to be there.
2050, guys.
Just thinking about it, what would that be like?
Oh, lordy. So, anyway, we will both be sort of reacquainting ourselves in a lot of ways because it's been a while since I've run anything in this particular continuity,
the vampire continuity.
Exactly.
We're not talking about the hunter continuity.
No, that is fresh and familiar. Yes. So if you're a more recent listener and maybe you listen to the Demon's Blade,
you're like, I like that.
Yeah, this is this is, as we always mention, I think this is part of our ongoing Nightlife series.
Yes.
Started with Neon Masquerade in 2015, which is my other little thing that I'm I know.
Go.
This is the third time I've talked about this because I talked about it on the Demon's Blade episode we ended up doing a redo on and didn't release. Then I talked about it on our, last attempt at doing this session.
Yeah.
So hopefully third time's a charm.
Better be.
Title of this episode is 9 Years Later, which you'll find out why in game, but also it's been 9 years since we started our Nightlife Chronicles because we started Neon Masquerade in the summer of 2015. So we're not quite at 10 years yet.
All right.
So it's 9 years later.
Are you happy about that?
I am. I mean, originally I had hoped that I would be running this last summer so it could truly be 9 years later. But Demon's Blade ended up, taking up the year just due to real life.
Our schedule is very strange, I think.
Yes.
I mean, we have normal lives, I guess, but our schedules are strange sometimes, and there have been a lot of random interruptions.
Yeah.
But we still manage to do this, and this I like a lot. Us playing a game together.
Me too.
I love playing with our friends, and I love playing with new people that we've met. through our Patreon and Discord channel, which is fun, interesting, and funny.
Yep.
And I really do like us playing these characters. So Aaron is, I don't even know, man. And Amy's great. Amy's great. But what I'm trying to, my point is,
Aaron is, I don't even know.
I don't even know this guy. Like, if you're used to Amy, like, let's say you first listen to that, and then maybe you're like, well, I'll try the Aaron stuff, and you'll see he's a very different character than Amy is.
Yeah.
But what I meant to say, my point is that I'm glad we get to play this together, and I'm glad we're still doing it. And
me too.
I'm really excited to see where it will go. And I appreciate our ambitions, and I want to be respectful of that. And I think the key to success so far has been committing time to it every week, and also having an end date. You know, knowing that we're going to have so many sessions.
X number of sessions.
And that we have to make the most of it, which I think really gives us a nice structure. And it helps us to get it fucking done. This isn't like I would say just a, let's just play vampire. No. Like, I think for us, what makes it fun is that there is an end point. Like, there is... Yeah.
Right. It's not just some open-ended chronicle that keeps going.
The only place where it will be open-ended is if we continue to play Chronicles once we're done with the Final Nights trilogy. Don't you think? Because if we do Modern Nights, everyone survives.
Oh, right.
Everyone gets through it.
I was like, Chronicles of Darkness. I thought we gave up on that.
Oh, did I say Chronicles?
No, but I misunderstood you. You just meant if we continue playing Chronicles, small C Chronicles.
Small C Chronicles.
Right. Gotcha.
That's what they're called, not campaigns.
Correct.
So if we continue to play this and we do Modern Nights, then it'll be that's when it's sort of like, well, let's check in with Aaron.
Let's see what's going on.
What's going on with Aaron. Let's see what's happening
We
with
don't
Amy.
even know, right?
Yeah.
Like, we've talked about it a little bit, like, because Amy would be about our age. No, older than us. Mid-50s.
Ken is our age.
Ken is our age.
In the timeline of birth
Modern
dates
Nights.
and years,
Yes.
Ken is our age. Ken was our age when we were in those time periods in the 90s, right?
And Amy's like some of our slightly older friends.
Not slightly, like she's older by like 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
So she's strictly Generation X. You know.
Ken's an Xennial.
Yeah. So it's like Ken will be like our age. So once we get to Modern Nights, whatever age we are, 50 or whatever, by the time we get to running that, Ken is like a 50-year-old man.
And Amy's even older.
Amy's like pushing 60.
But because of the demon blood, she doesn't age the same way.
Not in the same way.
So she'd still be like... She'd look younger. She's like a Dunedain. She looks like Viggo Mortensen, but she's actually 85 years old.
Right. So like, I don't know. It's just interesting. And then Aaron, we're gonna get into his age, an actual age, because if we are 9 years later, then he'll have been 10 years like being a vampire. And that's weird.
10 years of vampire.
I wasn't gonna say that, but it's just very much like. Interesting. So if he survives all the way up through, whatever, he looks like he's 24, but he's like a 50-year-old dude or older.
Yeah.
And God only knows if he's going to look like the Beast from the 90s TV series Beauty and the Beast, based on his gangrel ways. Just look it up if you don't know what it is.
You're lucky we're not playing second edition because, it was a lot more unforgiving with those beastly attributes. So, but he's already screwed. He's got coyote eyes.
He's messed up hardcore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff happening. I've written down the weaknesses, and we'll get into the character sheet. But anyway, my whole point is I'm glad we get to keep doing this.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, I just had a couple caveats, again, for new listeners, but also to remind old listeners. The first...
Old listener.
Veteran listeners.
Elderly listeners.
Retirement age listeners. So, what I've always said all along is, your vampire may vary.
Yeah.
And...
always.
And so what that means is basically the...
what we say goes.
What we say goes. Well, the World of Darkness lore is very wide-ranging. Yeah, it's very wide-ranging. It's very cumbersome. There are characters who figure into the meta plot that sometimes we kill off ahead of time or whatever.
Well, things happen, all right?
Things happen, but that's how it should be. Right, that was the problem with the meta plot stuff in the 90s was like, oh, here's this new like source book or adventure or whatever, and it's got this character as like a central part of the adventure, and you're like, no, that character died, a while back in my chronicle, so what the fuck am I supposed to do,
Look, I have a humanity 5 when it comes to the vampires in this fucking world. Vampires die, elders die, stuff breaks.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just the way it goes. Muhammad, out of here, even though he's my favorite fucking character. Salvador, bye-bye, baby.
Adios, as he would say.
Adios, muchacho.
Adios. Enjoy them, old man. They will be your last.
They were his fucking last. He was out of there. Boom, he's gone. Petrodon, fuck you, Nosferatu. Get the hell out of here. It's like, this is just...
Nosferatu to Feratu. It's your problem.
Yeah, exactly. There's just so many things that...
yes.
That we just aren't precious about. Mm-hmm. It's hard being a vampire.
Which, is how it should be. It's hard out there for a vampire.
It's hard to be a vampire. Wait,
and
when did we talk about this recently? We're like, it's hard to be a vampire.
Yeah?
I don't think people really understand. Like, it is... Oh. Yeah. I remember. So, basically, like... very based on our podcast taste or whatever we listen to. I think it was a You Are Good episode, which is a podcast we enjoy about movies. And they were talking about Near Dark and how they're like, why are they so why are they vulnerable? Why are they getting into this trouble? It's like... Because that's the point of the movie.
Yeah, because they were like, how are these vampires 100 years old and they're dying like chumps in this movie?
Because that's the story, first of all. Right. Second of all, it's hard to be a vampire and maintain it for so long.
Right.
And as Sarah Marshall put it, the last 2 vampires, they pledge their allegiance to fun and then they just fuck off and get burnt by the sun, right?
Pledge their allegiance to fun.
Yeah,
that's right.
And it's just like, that's what happens because the vampire, it's exhausting being a vampire. It's hard living.
And I think the analogy I came up with is like a vampire is like a finely tuned sports car in that it has this like, it'll outperform any other car on the street. But you get so much as a grain of sand into that engine and it's over.
Absolutely.
It's not vampires are surprisingly fragile because they have to they have to walk a very thin line in order to maintain their existence. You screw up one time and it's you're done.
Yeah.
It's even more perilous than being immortal.
Agree.
Amortal, not immortal.
Not immortal, but amortal.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. So it's like, because this is the story. Like, what happens when sand gets in the machine? That's interesting.
That's it, yeah.
And I think that's what we try to strive for in terms of like, what happens when like that elder is overconfident and doesn't, or they just get unhinged for some reason, like Christopher going to Amy's house for Thanksgiving. If you haven't listened to The Demon's Blade, I highly recommend it. So, like, So, saying all that to say
that
our vampire will vary.
And that includes things like, I didn't know about that part of the lore, or I forgot about that part of the lore. That's part of the story itself, right? Because it's like, if I forget something or I misinterpret something, then it's unintentional, but it becomes as much a part of our version of the universe as if I had intentionally left it out, right?
Yeah.
I don't stress about it. I used to.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Yeah, you would get a little...
I got kind of overwhelmed by wanting to stick to canon.
And it's just
And I kind of got over that.
Yeah. You just have to read it all and go, this is fun, this isn't. So what are some other sources that you used for this particular chronicle?
This chronicle. Well, okay, so... my primary source is always our own previous chronicles. So I went back and I re-listened to Black and White. Oh my God. And it was really interesting to me because I was simultaneously watching an actual play, this is going to figure into my second caveat, but I was watching an actual play of the old video game Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And so that has a lot of sort of canonical stuff happening in it, except even then it's like their version of it's set in Los Angeles and their version of LA is very different from what you find in like LA by Night. They just made up their own version of LA. So that's a great example of how they were using the ongoing meta plot as it existed in the RPG, but also kind of putting their own personal twist on it. So those were like kind of like how I started approaching things. And it was very interesting to me as I re-listened to Black and White and like some of the stuff I was playing around with in terms of plot and in terms of themes and even stuff in East of Eden. Like it's going to feed into stuff in this chronicle specifically that it's going to look like I actually am some kind of genius because I set this stuff up years in advance. When in fact, it's just sort of like, it was something I thought was cool. And then I'm like reading up on like the continuity of the Final Nights, and I'm like, oh, like that ties in almost perfectly. My God, and maybe I had seen something about that on like a World of Darkness wiki or something. Maybe that did inform my decisions at the time, but who knows? So that's the other piece, is that, White Wolf put out a whole series of books about, their various game lines, individual end of the world scenarios, essentially. So, for Vampire, it was all the Gehenna stuff, So, I've got some books from that period that I'm referencing, which has been a very odd experience, because I feel like when they were being published in the late 90s and early 2000s, there was more of a sort of like tee-hee-hee kind of tongue-in-cheek, like oh, it's the end of the world, because there was a lot of that stuff going around at the time in terms of like millennial, end of the millennium anxieties, Y2K and all that stuff. Right. But like, I know there were people who took that seriously, but like the circles I ran in, none of us did.
Right.
And it was just kind of like, it just felt like sort of cheap thrills, in a certain way. And it was all over the media at the time, like X-Files and that other show, Millennium, I think it was called, and a bunch of others, that were all sort of like, oh, conspiracy theories and like, aliens and the end of the world and Right. And it was just kind of the zeitgeist. But it wasn't reflecting anything that was real, my theory being because the Cold War was over, and so people were like looking around going like, well, what do we freak out about now? Right? They had to like make stuff up. Exactly. And so now running a Final Nights Chronicle in the year of our Lord 2025 hits different, as the kids say. Absolutely. So content warning, I guess, even though I don't know what we're going to cover. But
we just have a lot going
there's
on.
Going to be, there's going to be some interesting resonances. But, as a vampire, you're going to have a lot of agency in how you engage with those.
That's what makes it worth pursuing, because I don't have to be a human.
Or a hobbit. Battered
Christ.
Battered about by forces far greater than you. Although you will be battered about by forces far greater than you.
I know. I know, but at least I have some, powers.
You do.
So is there anything else you wanted to mention about any of that before I go into my character sheet?
Second caveat, and this will be a lot quicker, is just that since we're setting this in an LA that's a few years later than our continuity that was using LA by night, and as indicated, we've already burned through some NPCs on our own between Aaron and Amy, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, Amy.
I knew I was going to have to like kind of fill out the background roster a little bit.
Right.
Now, there will be lots of familiar faces, and maybe their situations will have changed, right? Yeah. So that'll be kind of part of the fun.
Exactly.
But also, like, I knew I needed some new people. And some new, like,
new blood,
new spheres of influence, let's just say. And so Bloodlines was a great source for that, because the game came out in the early 2000s, which is around the same time that we're setting our chronicles, our Final Nights Chronicles. So what I did, because there were elements in Bloodlines that I didn't want to include in our chronicle, and other elements where I was just like, well, I like our version of this better.
Yeah, because
we're awesome. Basically, what this chronicle is going to do is, like, if you're familiar with Bloodlines, you don't have to be familiar with Bloodlines, first of all. Oh, yeah. But if you are...
I'm not. I don't know anything about that.
Which is great. I'm like,
no idea. You found another resource that I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't run Vampire yet, really. Not a lot at all.
Right, that's
true. I barely run it. And the ones I do run, I just kind of make up based on riffing.
Yeah, right.
13 Candles was a big riff.
One big riff. Riff Burger.
It was a fun one, though.
It was.
Killer Diller, still in my mind. Still there.
We'll get back there.
It's on ice.
We'll get back to it.
It'll come out of the freezer.
Good. So, saying all that to say that, like, what I basically did was pull in some of the elements from Bloodlines to just fill in some of those gaps and provide some synergistic plot elements
I'm so scared.
that tie in with some of the stuff some of the seeds I unintentionally planted, as I referenced.
I'm scared, guys.
You should be. Yeah. So this caveat is for the people who are like familiar with Bloodlines.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, oh, there's that character or that sect or whatever from the game. But just because that character or that sect is in our chronicle doesn't mean it's going to play out anything near to how it went in the game, or maybe it will.
It's like a song, and you hear different riffs or hear echoes of other songs within it, and you go, "That's cool." Like
that sounds like Journey.
It's its own song,
right?
It's fine.
Yeah,
but they're using these little aspects of other songs that we like. So
exactly. So yeah, let's talk about Aaron Evans. What do you want to say?
He's a guy.
He's a man.
He's a white man.
White male.
Well, I transferred all my stuff onto a new character sheet, and I'm using some. Did you say this was like a playtest character sheet?
So
20th anniversary edition?
Yeah. So all the real ones know about Mr. Gon's character sheet repository, and so
I'm not a real one.
You're not, and so he's a guy who likes to make character sheets, and so this is where I source all of our World of Darkness character sheets, and so he creates all these variant character sheets. So this was one that I guess I showed you when we played Black and White, and you were like, I like the just simplicity of the layout.
It was
it's very
simple.
clean.
It is clean. I like it.
And I guess he based this design off of the playtest sheet that was circulated while they were getting ready to release 20th anniversary edition. I don't know myself. It just says playtest edition on it.
That's fine. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is 4 pages, which is annoying, but
sure,
I can handle it. I have a post-it note on the front with my merits and flaws because I found that's easier to look at than flipping a page. I hate flipping pages over.
Okay.
That's
There it is.
That's just what I hate. I don't like flipping a page. It's not fun for me. So what I have here is my character sheet, newly filled out, with Aaron Evans stuff on it. Nature, rebel. Demeanor, I have the storm. The nature's probably going to change. Concept, I'm not sure. His last concept was tightrope walker. He's trying to balance everything at the same time.
Okay.
But now that a lot of different things have changed.
Yeah.
So
no, you can definitely update your concept.
I think he might be a babe in the woods again, as he started off in Neon Masquerade.
Nice.
7th generation gangrel, Karen Anatos was his sire, who died in 1990, as some of you well know. I'm fairly dexterous, very swift, very charismatic. I am disarming. My appearance is Prince Charming, which we'll get into in just a second. Intelligence is still 1, everybody. You'll be happy to know that. Wits and perception are 3, which is not bad. But he's not smart in terms of intelligence.
He's not a smart man.
No, he's not. Awareness is pretty high, and the rest are solid 3s. I have animalism, feral whispers, and quell the beast. I have fortitude. My fortitude is 3. Very good there. I have claws that I can use when I'm in my, more animalistic form. Protean, shape of the beast, I can turn into a coyote, and I can also dissolve into the ground.
Yep.
Thank fucking God. I have claws, I have potence. I still have my necromancy skill, which I thought went away once the Diablerie streaks faded, but apparently David said I still have it.
Yeah, once you learn a discipline, doesn't matter how you learn it, you get to keep it.
So I have necromancy. Fame is still 4, but I don't know if that has changed.
Right.
Okay, and then generation is 5. I still have Derek as an ally. I had a retainer, which was my band, but I don't think that exists anymore. And my status is 1, but I don't know if that has also changed.
Okay.
All right, so we can look at that.
Yep.
I have a conscience/conviction of 4.
Conscience.
My humanity is 5.
Yes.
Not good. Courage is 1. I'm not very courageous. Which I don't know why.
Courage is what?
Courage is 1.
Really?
Oh, wait, no. Sorry, it's 4.
Okay. I was like, there's no way.
Okay,
There's no
I
way.
still have my other character sheet in front of me. So I was like, that seems weird. Yeah, I know. I'm very stupidly courageous.
Yeah.
Self-control is 2. So when I'm hungry,
sense.
my hungry is less than 5. I'm hungry, which is bad.
5 or less, actually.
5 or less. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Sorry, I reversed that. So my backgrounds continue. I have a mentor in Christopher Houghton. Chris.
Sam Morningstar called him Chris.
Sam! Where is Sam? Okay. Resources are 3. I think these are all going to change. Resources are 3. Coyote. I don't know why it says BB. BB Coyote?
I don't know.
Why would I have said that? Bloodbound.
Oh,
Bloodbound.
okay. Yeah.
I was like, BB. Not in the classic, like, BB, but Bloodbound with Coyote, that's at a 2, but Coyote may no longer be alive, which makes me sad to think about. And then Contacts 1. I don't know who I have a contact with. I just feel like these are all going to be reset. Domain, I don't have a domain. The streets are my domain.
Where the streets have domain, as the song goes.
All right. So I also have a blood pool of 20, but I'm sure I don't have very much blood right now, but I don't know how much I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 willpower.
Okay, that's good.
Weaknesses are feral eyes. Whiskers.
Whiskers? When did you get whiskers?
Coyote ears.
What?
And drooling.
What?
David.
Drooling?
David.
When did this all happen?
It happened toward the end of things.
Oh my god.
I have 10 experience points that I have not spent yet. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until the end of the first session to see how I'm feeling.
I was going to ask how many XP you had, yeah.
10.
That's crazy.
It's not. It's very sane. I have Blush of Life, so I look like a person, generally.
Mm-hmm.
I can eat food, which is disgusting.
Mm-hmm. You can eat food. You can't digest food.
I can't digest it, but I can consume it.
Mm-hmm.
Friendly face to most, but not to all, which I love. Concentration, eidetic memory, which has gotten me out of many a scrape. And I am precocious. I can learn things more quickly than other people. I have the infertile vitae flaw.
Yes.
That's a -5. I cannot make vampires, but I can ghoul people.
Yes.
Right? But I can't make any vampires, which is great. But it's also a sign of the, Gehenna.
That whole thing.
I have an infamous sire, but I don't know if this still applies. But I'm sure in some circles it still may apply.
Yeah, it's going to follow you around.
God
for sure.
fucking damn it. That's a -1.
Yeah.
So that is Aaron in a nutshell. I want to kind of get rid of the things that I know I no longer have, like resources, right?
Right.
I don't have a 3 in resources anymore. I might have a 1.
Yeah, I don't know if you have anything. Okay. I mean, it would kind of... Well, I guess you would still be getting, like, royalty checks sent somewhere. Somebody's getting those royalty checks.
Karen's estate was a thing.
Sure.
And I inherited her estate.
Okay.
So...
Well, then, yeah, that doesn't all go away.
Okay. But it's like, if I haven't been around in 9 years, then...
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Not 9 years. No, wait.
You'll see.
Okay, fine. All right. That's pretty much all I have to say. But in terms of description, apparent age is 24. Current age is 34. Date of birth, in case y'all are wondering, I do have a birth date for this bitch. It's June 30th, 1965. Blonde wavy hair, more on the short side, but longer on top. Green eyes. He's a white boy. U.S. American, 6'4", 190 pounds, male. So, that is Aaron. He is very fit, or was fit when he was embraced.
Mm-hmm.
Classic, bog standard, soap opera handsome man.
Mm-hmm.
But with a little bit of a sensitive vibe.
Okay.
A la Christopher Reeve. Sensitive and caring. Ideal man.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Reeve. I know we talked about Chris Pratt in the starts of our thing. I regret all of that. Move it along. He is not welcome
the full
in this
picture.
house.
Yes.
But anyway, so the looks of Aaron, if you want to look at Christopher Reeve when he was younger and didn't have the Superman dark hair. He had light hair.
Oh.
Blue eyes. But Aaron has green eyes. So Tab Hunter-esque.
Mm-hmm.
He's an actor from the 50s and 60s and very handsome. And Anthony Perkins' boyfriend for a while. Zach Roerig from The Vampire Diaries.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he played Matt, like the human caught up in the middle of all the bullshit. Again, Vampire Diaries, excellent show. It is so fun. It's pretty much all you would want from a trashy vampire soap opera. True Blood, we've talked about True Blood. It has its points. It has its good points. It also has a lot of stupid points. Yes. But it's still watchable to me.
Right.
Anything that Alexander Skarsgård did, I'm gonna watch.
He was the best part. Him and Pam.
He really was so good. Him and Pam were amazing. So, that said,
yes,
that's how Aaron looks now.
Okay.
The last time we taught... Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. We were talking about Los Angeles and the one that we're using, and you were talking about bloodlines. I think we'd be remiss in mentioning that whatever Los Angeles exists in David Lynch's mind, that's the Los Angeles that we are in. Yes. So you can watch any of his movies set in Los Angeles. Mulholland Drive is the biggie, right? Blue Velvet feels like it's LA, but I know it's not LA. Right. But still feels like Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So anyway, his vibe, that is the vibe.
Yeah.
Our World Darkness, our Los Angeles is a Lynchian Los Angeles. So if you haven't watched Mulholland Drive,
which we established even in Neon Masquerade because Aaron was cast on An Invitation to Love.
Which is referencing the soap opera in Twin Peaks, An Invitation to Love.
Yes.
Yes. So even back then,
canon.
It is canon. So that's the Los Angeles that we dwell in. Heat also.
Oh yeah.
We could be watching Heat right now.
We talk about Heat. We talk about watching Mulholland Drive and other things, and we talk about listening to the You Are Good podcast, all on our April edition. Or March edition.
Spring. It's the spring edition.
It's our spring edition.
We would do these quarterly.
Oh, our media
spring.
roundups?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spring.
Our spring media roundup on Endless Weekend, which is our little discussion podcast that we have for Patreon backers at a certain level.
Yeah.
And so if you're interested in that and you have a few bucks to spare, head on over to our Patreon.
If you do not have the money, do not spend it.
Correct.
You could just probably message us and be like, hey, can I listen to that? And we can send you a link. But
true.
But if you can't afford to, we appreciate your donations. We appreciate you supporting our podcast. It means a lot to us, and it helps us to get the job done. For sure. It helps us with microphones and all types of different things.
Keep our website going. Keep our file hosting going. That ain't cheap.
No, it is not. So it helps us in so many ways.
Yeah.
So if you can afford it, cool. If you can't, don't worry about it. And if you desperately want to listen to us babble for about 2 hours about media, I'm sure David or I could help you with that.
True.
Sending you that information.
Absolutely.
But more
in the
importantly,
meantime,
back to this bitch. So,
so this bitch was last heard from.
He was last heard from. Okay. So we talked about his humanity being 5. So humanity 5 is the, destruction of private property or whatever.
Intentional property damage.
Which is such a weird.
I know.
We haven't looked at the. I don't remember what the humanity, what would you call it?
Scale
in the most recent edition of Vampire. Not that I don't really.
Oh, what, Requiem?
Fifth
edition.
Fifth edition, Requiem, whatever.
Right.
We haven't checked out to see what their definitions of humanity are.
That's not a bad idea.
So it might be interesting to do that, because to me, intentional property damage just makes me think of some punk ass kid just breaking a window with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Just okay, or setting somebody's car on fire, I guess.
Right.
Which doesn't feel. It just feels like wow. You did that.
Yeah. Humanity lost.
So anyway, his is 5, and I think I vacillated between. I think I've probably gotten as high as 7. And I've sunk as low as 4. Maybe.
Oh, did you get down to 4 at one point?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my erase marks, and I'm thinking over time. Maybe 5, but 5 is the lowest, and I don't like that. No. I'd rather be at a 6. That's a comfortable place for me.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. A lot of trying to breathe here.
Way to breathe, no breath.
So humanity is 5, and I think if you listen to at least the last episode of Black and White, you'll see he was able to step away from a lot of his connections based on his allegiance to other things. Mm-hmm. So he had blood bonds, or I'm sorry, vinculum.
Thank you.
But it's a blood bond.
No,
it is a blood
it's
bond.
not.
It is. So he had blood bonds with Muhammad. He had it with Araceli. He had it with his baby mama. He had it with Manon, with Emily and Vanessa, all these people. Now, the people who have died in that little Sabbath pack that I was coerced into being in, one of the most iconic episodes, I think, of our whole series.
That's true.
That was rough. I definitely cried a lot. And,
oh my God.
But like, he had all these blood bonds with them, and so there was a ritual performed in the first city that removed these blood bonds from his system. Mm-hmm. So when he could surface back into the real world, he was able to do the things that needed to be done, which was kill Muhammad, right? And then also, in turn, step away from Araceli, who was fully pregnant with their demon seed.
Some kind of demon seed.
Another coerced ritual.
Yes.
So Sabbath are a no-go. I think Aaron, if he has any memories at all from this, after being in like a torpor/coma condition into the ground, which we'll talk about.
Yes.
I think he's like, fuck the Sabbath, fuck the Camarilla, and I fuck all of it. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care who you're affiliated with. I don't care about your status in that particular group. I don't care. Are you in my way?
Oh, shit.
Are you in my way?
Damn.
If you're in my way, goodbye.
Okay.
I hope that's not too Amy-ish.
No, because I think she's different.
She is.
Yeah.
I think.
She's not like, are you in my way? She's just more like...
Get out of my way.
She's more like, are you with me or against me? That's a little different, you know?
Yeah, Aaron doesn't care. He just knows that if he has friends, and we're gonna play it. We're gonna see how he responds. Excuse me, but this is how I'm feeling. Like, kind of getting back into the feel of this character. Like, who the fuck can he trust?
Right.
He has a freaking. Okay, we'll get into it. Okay. So there's just so many things.
Right.
Okay. So his humanity is 5.
Right.
Okay, which means he's at a humanity 5. So at that point, we'll see. We'll see how this comes out. Yeah. I don't know what I was saying.
That's all right. I got an answer for you from 5th edition Vampire.
Okay, what does it say?
Well, they don't have humanity in 5th edition.
Okay, fuck it. Never mind. That's obsolete. Instantly obsolete.
What they have are something called convictions, and you sort of custom build your character's convictions. So a humanist, for example, if you had a humanist conviction or belief system, you would have the convictions of thou shalt not kill save in self-defense, thou shalt not rape or torture, thou shalt not harm the innocent. That's it. That's all you need to be a humanist, right? So they don't slice it as finely.
I don't like it. All right, moving on.
Shocker.
Moving on.
We're not a pro 5th edition
sorry,
household.
Guys, just not into this at all.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yes.
So that was unhelpful.
Good.
And distracting.
I'm glad it could be unhelpful.
Yeah, unhelpful, distracting. So these blood bonds are no longer in place.
Right.
He has been underground for a chunk of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've referenced the fact, like, what would it be like to be in torpor for a long period of time, right?
Yes. So we're gonna. In fact, that's how I kind of want to open things up. So, anything else besides the torpor that you want to address?
I just want to talk about like what it feels to be under the ground.
Let's get into it.
And what it feels like, and also let me see here real quick. I took notes from our last session so that I could. Yeah, I apologies ahead of time. Like, if you've been in a coma, or you know someone who's been in a coma, or you currently are in a coma right now listening to this, we're not trying to be rude. We're not trying to assume anything about what that experience is like. It's just the closest thing we can reference, like a soap opera coma, like it's not serious, and we're not trying to be disrespectful, but
right,
because that's a serious medical condition.
Yes, it is.
And so we want to be respectful, but this is a soap opera. This is our vampire soap opera. And do we have the music to fill it? Is my question.
It's just a very quiet part of the music right now. So, see, there it is. Just very simple lines intertwining. It's influenced by Mozart and Bach. It's more of a mock piece. All right, so
Trying to get serious.
So you've been in torpor. You sank
Aaron
down.
Evans has been in torpor.
You sank down into the earth.
Yeah. So I retreated. Okay, so after I abandoned Araceli, and Christopher's like, "You didn't do this, did you?" I'm like, "Wasn't me." And then I run up to the
Couldn't have been me.
ran up to the inspiration for the Shaggy song and ran up to the Griffith Park hills, and earth melded, and he thought this is a perfect hiding place, because not only am I going to be free from vampire annoyances, I will be free from human annoyances in general. It's, there's different parts of Griffith Park that are very deserted. If you were to take a hike, highly recommend this. I think we've recommended this before. If you ever go to Los Angeles and you can, and you're able to, check out Griffith Park. Even by car, it is so fun. But if you hike within those little hills, you feel very feel very separate from the city. But it's very close to the city.
Yeah.
I go there in my mind often.
Aww.
I do. I really do.
No.
And so Aaron retreated to the hills, and earth melded, and
earth molded
became part of the earth and the molecules there, and his essence is part of that space. And so if a human or teens or whoever were to walk by, they'd be freaked out by the vibes, because it'd be just creepy feeling. And so he's up on like one of the hills that you would probably be able to overlook the city. Actually, I know exactly where it is. And the lupine, he's not afraid of them. He should be, but he's not.
Right.
And
because he got lucky a couple times.
He's gotten lucky a couple times, not avoided death.
Yes.
So, but he's not as scared of them. And also the vampires won't be around because the lupine like to hang out there. So it's the perfect plan.
It's pretty clever.
Pretty clever indeed. And being part of the earth now.
Stupider than a fox.
That's right.
Anyway.
But being part of the earth, Aaron's just like tuning into the vibe of like how the land feels and what it experiences as it goes through the seasons. And because there are seasons in Los Angeles. There's multiple seasons in California. Just deal with it. And yeah, just the subtlety of that feeling. Not really knowing how much time is actually passing. So whenever he does emerge, I'm sure he will have no idea, like, what year is it? It might be the next night.
Right.
It might be 20 years from now. He has no idea.
Right.
Because I think you just lose track of time and space. Because you're just like molecules now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right.
Is this the energy you want to bring?
I'm into it. So my question to you, as a sort of mini prelude, is, as you lay in the earth, and you're sort of like yourself, but you're also part of the web. Do you dream?
I think so, but it's like more of a collective dream. It's not like my ego dream.
Right. I'm back in my parents' house.
Yeah.
Except there's a whole other part of the house I don't remember.
Yeah, none of that. It's like this collective dreaming of like the people who are there before him and the people who will be there after him, and like just this very like esoteric collective that he's dreaming. He's part of the unified field. Right?
Nice. All right. So, like you say, time ceases to become a concept or be a concept.
Unless there's like this kind of, snazzy dance beat playing above him, then he'd be like, I'm definitely still in the 80s somehow.
Yeah, I need to make a millennial ambient vampire mix, I guess.
Yeah.
I got too many synth tracks on this one. Yeah. All right. Well, in the meantime, as you are, just sort of existing in this sort of timeless, quasi dimension.
Right.
Like you say, it's more of like impressions and energetic shadows washing over you and through you. And and I was even thinking like Because at first I'm like, oh yes, earth meld. So you're one with the worms and the beetles. But like I think no living thing would come near you.
No.
Like I think there's actually like, to whatever extent there would be like weeds or wild grass, it all dies off and it just nothing grows there.
No.
You know,
just a bald patch where you're like, why is there a bald patch there?
Yeah.
It's like grass here, bald patch, grass.
Grass.
It seems weird.
That sapling is all withered and dead.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
like
just not thriving.
Yeah. It's very stunted.
You're just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those places that you walk by that you're just not quite sure on. Yeah.
So you're very alone in your earth melded state.
Yet part of the collective.
Right.
Like part of the earth.
And so
I'm not trying to get too woo about it, but it's like
I'm
molecules.
Absolutely.
And so my molecules, as weird and gross as they are, these vampiric molecules, they've still managed to meld with the earth somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So
so I'm feeling the vibes.
You're feeling the
From all over.
vibes. And so to whatever extent you're aware of like any kind of chronological linear passage of time, the only way you can sort of discern that in your diffuse consciousness is that gradually and increasingly you get these feelings of like very powerful energetic entities.
What?
Sort of like almost like forcing their way into your consciousness. And
it's invading my little cells.
It's invading your cells. It's invading your space. It's like sort of washing over you.
Okay.
Like almost like a rogue wind or a sudden squall might, suddenly pick up and whap you in the face, you know. And it has that kind of intensity to it as well. It's very powerful. You're sort of, beatific slumber is disturbed. You feel in fear for your life. Oh. Or your unlife. And then it's
fearful?
You do, and then it passes.
Oh.
It's almost like you're being probed. Like things are like fingers are reaching out through the earth and feeling you and ascertaining what you are.
Are people digging in the ground? Like what the hell?
It's lateral or it's from below even,
like trying to collect me.
Maybe. Or at least catalog you.
Summon me
or
identify me.
Identify you. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Who's this? So
I'm like that.
You're like a little blind puppy being picked up by a human and manhandled and then placed back down in the pen.
No.
So
Goodness.
And this is happening more frequently. And it's starting to stir you from your torpor because it's kind of like
it's agitating.
Your beast is like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't like this. Mm-hmm. And then you have what is like your first kind of like you phrased it, your first kind of like ego driven dream, as in you feel like you are in a corporeal body. Oh. You're witnessing things from the ocular receptors of somebody.
Okay. Right.
No, but you are looking out on the world
I'm
from
being observed.
something.
I'm observing something from my perspective, which is the ego.
Yeah, and so you are making your way through a dark, very dark forest, like a primeval sort of like spruce and evergreen kind of forest.
Do I feel like I'm me?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Kind of, but not really.
So I'm along for the ride.
Yeah, I mean, you don't feel like you're in. It's not like when you absorbed a piece of Nob, and like had his personality
like
hitchhiking.
That,
yeah. And in fact, there is a certain familiarity to it. Okay. It's just that you feel very powerful. You feel very capable and like you could do anything kind of thing. It's nighttime, so it's a very dark forest, but you're seeing through vampire eyes, so you can make out details and shapes that humans would not be able to.
Okay.
And but you're also aware that you're nude. You're not wearing any clothes. You can feel.
It's not me. It's somebody else.
You can feel the pine needles under your feet. You know. You can feel the cold night air on your skin.
Okay. Do I look at my hands? What do my hands look like?
Your hands are very long and what do we want to say? Predatory, like they have very long nails.
Okay.
But they're not like claws, like when you pop your claws out with protean. They're just like, it's just very long and sort of corpse-like with these long nails. You can feel hair cascading all down around your shoulders and your back.
Okay. Like hair from my head.
Yes.
Not fur.
No.
Okay. I'm like,
yeah, you have long hair. You have long hair.
Am I fuzzy?
Long hair, don't care.
Okay.
So, and you're definitely a vampire.
Okay.
You know that much. And you're a little hungry, but you're not like starving, but you're out for the hunt. And you've spotted a strange kind of camp or something some humans have set up, some mortals have set up in the woods. And they like the way that you're interpreting the visuals is like you see these like horseless carriages, right?
Okay.
There are no horses, but there are these carriages. You can smell humans, but you don't smell any other animals.
Okay.
There are like weird artificial fires burning, providing a lot of light. There are men and women standing about, chatting, people seated in chairs. It's an odd kind of setup because it doesn't look like it looks like they're doing something. It doesn't look like they're just hanging out, camping, or doesn't look like they're travelers, bedding down for the night or anything. It looks like they're there very purposefully and they're there to do something specifically. And then you spot a woman in amongst them, and she is she's very lovely, but there's something about her more than that catches your eye. She seems very she has an air about her that you like quite a bit.
What does she look like?
She is very strikingly beautiful. She has red hair, which she's pinned up in this sort of short bob. And she's wearing like a lot of like pancake makeup and heavy eye makeup. And she's talking to a somewhat older gray-haired man in like jodhpurs and a sweater vest, right? And they're sort of conferring over some stack of papers. And you can hear them, and they're speaking what you know to be German, which to you still sounds kind of like hardly intelligible, because it's not the same kind of Germanic language that you speak.
Oh.
And so you can't quite make out everything they're saying because you're still trying to master the modern tongue. But you stomp at the periphery of the light and you watch them for a while, and then more discussions. They're fiddling with some kind of device on a tripod, and so she gets a cigarette out of a gold case. You've only recently learned what cigarettes are. She produces some fire from a little device in her hand and starts walking away from the camp, clearly like just waiting for the other people to finish doing whatever they're doing. And so you call out to her with your mind because you have what out of game you and I would call presence, right? You have the ability to influence mortals' minds and make them feel drawn to you. And she walks in your direction, and you withdraw further back into the woods until you're kind of at this little babbling stream, and she's following you, and she sees you and gasps a little bit, and before she can,
like this weird naked long-haired thing with
yes,
long fingers, arms.
And before she can do anything more than that, you are on her, and your fangs are in her neck, and with the practiced ease of centuries, if not millennia, you drain the vitae from her. But then, as she lies expiring on the forest floor, you drip, in a sort of spontaneous moment of decision, you drip some of your own blood into her mouth. But then you immediately fly away.
Flying.
Oh, yes. And
so is the Aaron consciousness recognizing anything?
During the feeding, as the blood was like cascading through your mouth and into your undead body, you, Aaron, start to become aware of that. It's sort of like, you can dream about eating, but you don't really taste the food, right? But if you're dreaming about food and then you start to wake up and you realize somebody has started to make breakfast or whatever, and you can smell it, you're like, oh. Or
I was thinking about
if you're a dog.
So I put a little piece of cheese in front of Edie while she sleeps.
Yeah.
She's like totally out like a light. And then I put a little piece of cheese and just let her sniff it. And then she wakes up and like,
yep. Exactly. So, yeah.
So I'm having that experience, or is there actual blood?
Well, so like you're feeling the sensation of blood, and it's very satiating, and it's very, it's very invigorating, literally.
Okay. Yeah.
And so as the dream persona is fading away, you start to become aware of like solidifying, like the sort of earth melded body is starting to become a body of flesh.
Of my body.
Yes, a corporeal body.
Oh.
And you realize you are Aaron Evans.
Okay.
And you are in the ground. Yes.
In the ground.
You are you. The you are.
The me, I am.
And that indeed, perhaps unexpectedly, there is blood that's like soaking through the earth and soaking onto you, and including like into your mouth and nose, and and you can taste it.
Okay. I'm just gonna start grabbing handfuls of dirt and shoving it in my mouth and sucking the blood out of it.
Gross.
Isn't that nasty?
So nasty.
Ugh. But I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
I just start to suck all the blood out of the dirt.
All right. So you can be at 1 blood point.
No.
I'll give you my God.
Sorry.
I'll give you a whole blood point.
I'm so sorry, you guys.
And
no.
Yes.
1 whole blood.
1 blood.
God damn. Sorry for shouting. I'm outraged already.
Uh-huh.
Already annoyed. Okay. So I have 1 blood pool point.
You do. What do you want to do?
I am pushing myself out of the earth. I need more blood. It's time. It's time to get up.
You're hungry. All right.
So I'm clawing my way out of the dirt.
Okay. So
and I think how I look.
Oh, yes.
If I want to get into that.
Do it.
I'm hoping it's night.
One would hope.
Is there a full moon?
So this is
not.
as you emerge. This is as you emerge.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to say that like...
Where's your calendar? Where's the moon cycle calendar?
I don't have a moon cycle on this one.
Oh, my God.
All right. Hold on. Well, I can do 2 things at once.
That's true.
So...
That's where you're skilled.
Thank you. So basically... what seems to have happened is that as you were coming out of Earthmeld, it was sort of naturally pushing you up.
Okay.
And so you really don't have very much further to claw.
Okay.
It's really just like a couple, 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah.
So, let's see. As you are pushing your way out, it is night. We can say that much.
Okay, good. It's half the battle.
As for whatever the moon is, we'll know in a moment here. But what do you look like as you emerge?
So as I'm emerging from
this,
I mean, depending on what's around me, I won't be able to see anything until I open my eyes.
Right.
But my body is kind of like, I'd say like semi-desiccated a little. So very gaunt. The muscles are there, but they're just deflated a little. I need blood, right?
Right.
But if you saw it, I probably look severely dehydrated. The skin is like really close to the bone and sinew, so you can see kind of my veins and sinew and tendons.
Right.
And through the skin a little bit more easily than you usually could.
Right.
Hair is dirty and full of dust and dirt and whatever else.
Right.
And my mouth is covered in dirt.
Bloody, muddy dirt.
Bloody mud dirt.
Yes.
Yeah. And from what I've sucked out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And, standing like Terminator style, like crouched naked
Okay.
as I'm emerging from the dirt.
Nice.
So once I fully emerged, I'm in that like 3-point like flexed stance.
All muscles clenched.
Yeah. Even the butt cheeks.
Girl, it's a full moon tonight.
Why are you doing
I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't do it on purpose.
So my skin is very pale.
Yes.
And reflecting off of the moon.
Okay.
I think. Unless there's a cloud cover, it's foggy.
No, it's a clear night.
Okay.
It's a clear night.
And there's breezes, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
tousling my hair. Mm-hmm. But I'm dusty, crouched down, naked, no clothes. That's for you, Rainy. And just naked Aaron.
Okay.
Crouched down.
Crouched. So, right. So you feel the air on you for the first time in what you're quickly surmising is a long time because you're realizing it's kind of like you don't know how long you've slept until you wake up. And then you're like, oh, man, I slept a long time.
Yeah, it was a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm still not entirely sure.
Right.
I think it's also kind of just like the volume is turned up. You know, when you're asleep and then suddenly you start hearing things and you don't know the first sound that you've heard.
Right.
But then you hear the ones that are like going to wake you up fully.
And then suddenly you're like, my God, those birds are loud.
Yeah,
how did I sleep through all that?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so you can feel this night air on your skin.
Yeah.
And it is it's chilly, but not frigid.
Okay.
You know, it's maybe like 50 degrees.
That's cold for there.
I know it is. But there's also this like very steady wind blowing.
Okay.
It's like 20 to 30 mile per hour sustained wind.
Okay.
And along with that, you smell wood smoke. Mm-hmm. And
that's not good.
No. And
heads up, like we're probably going to talk about wildfires, you guys.
It's just a part of life in LA. Mm-hmm. So and then as you open your eyes. Oh, and then you can kind of like you said, hearing.
Okay.
You hear.
Do I hear a fire?
You can hear some crackling.
Oh shit!
But it's far away. It's just vampire senses.
Okay.
Right. It's that other thing where if you live in a big city, you don't realize how much ambient background noise there is until you go out to the country in the middle of nowhere. And then you're like, why is it so goddamn quiet out here? So you hear some far off helicopters. You hear just that general susurrus of traffic. The din, the just sort of, of like cars.
Yeah.
Just, there's always cars in motion. I'm going to say, even as a vampire with vampiric senses, you can even hear the slight buzz of some power lines that are maybe a couple hundred yards away, right?
Yeah, the light bulbs too, like the sound from the lamps.
If there were any, but you're out in the middle of nowhere, remember?
I thought I was at Griffith Park, which is not the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but you said it was an isolated part of the park.
An isolated hill part of the park, yeah.
Yeah. Where would the nearest like street lamps be?
Oh, they'd be like just like a hill over.
Okay.
Like it'd be very close.
Okay. Well then, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. So, so that's everything you hear.
Okay.
You open your eyes, and being in a 3-point sexy stance, you're looking down. You're looking more or less down.
Right.
And you can see the ground in front of you, and it's soaked in blood.
Oh.
And then you start to raise your vision, and you can see about 3 feet in front of you, there's a man, also on his knees, on both knees, but he's limp. He's wearing like jogging togs and running shoes.
Oh.
And his sweatshirt is soaked with his own blood, as it turns out.
Never go out jogging, you guys.
No, night jogging, not a great idea in the world of darkness.
No.
And then you can see the torn open throat, the pale features, and then and so he's on his knees, but he's kind of like in this sort of straight up and down kneeling position, right? But he's only in that position because he is being held up by a hand, by the hair, and obviously he's dead.
Okay.
And so the hand releases the hair, and he falls forward like a like a rag doll.
Ugh.
Just like right in front of you. Just being a vampire, you know that there is still some blood in the corpse. It's relatively fresh. He probably died within the last 15 minutes.
Yikes.
And but before I call for a self-control roll, you can see in that instant that the hand holding the man belonged to a woman, definitely also a fellow vamp, just judging from the paleness of her, the pallor of her complexion. She is very petite, not only in terms of height and weight, but in terms of build. You're sort of like weirdly reminded of Audrey Hepburn in terms of her frame. Her appearance is not Hepburn-esque. She's wearing combat boots, bloused parachute pants, a gray wool turtleneck sweater. Her features are very like angular and almost like felinoid, very cat-like, high cheekbones, very sort of like, like sharp, like you could cut yourself on her facial features. Her hair is tied up in like these braids that remind you of when you saw Heidi when you were a kid, you know. But like with the winds blowing, some of the hair has come loose and it's very wispy and like sort of limp, and the color is a sort of pallid blonde as well. And she's looking down at you, and she has this kind of smirk on her face. Okay. And then you sense from your peripheral vision that there's two other figures standing to either side of you. So you're sort of like in the middle of a little triangular formation. And now let's have you make a self-control roll.
All right. Now, remind me.
Okay, let's remind ourselves. So you're going to roll the number of dice in your self-control pool, which is 2.
Yeah.
I have to set a difficulty. And I'm going to say that since you are hungry...
Oh, God, yeah.
Let's see here. Difficulty is going to be 6.
Okay. Well, I mean, what's stopping me from going after these other vampires? Like, nothing.
No, nothing.
10 and a 1.
Okay. So if we recall, ones cancel out successes.
Yeah.
So you just dive in on this corpse because it's the nearest thing to you.
I just launched myself onto this thing, just trying to get any other blood that I could get out, which is almost impossible considering he's dead. It's like the blood isn't pumping anywhere.
No, so
it's just pooling in places, and so I have to find.
You sink your fangs into like his flank essentially, and sort of rip open his the side of his stomach.
Well, let's be real. Like, I have to find the blood. I'm not going to be eating.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not eating any of it.
No. But the blood is pooling, like you say. Yeah. So you have to like kind of tear the skin open to let the blood sort of slosh out into your mouth.
Ugh, it's so messy.
It's very messy. So you're getting blood all over you. It's sort of like room temperature at this point, so it's kind of disgusting.
Yeah.
But blood's blood. So I'm gonna say 2 more points for the pool.
Still hungry, so I'm looking at these other vampires like, which one is the weakest?
So as you are
I'm not kidding.
Yeah. So as the sort of semi-frenzy abates, as more blood surges into your system, you become aware of the fact that they're talking to each other. So judging from the voices, it's a trio of women, and they are talking in German. Which you don't know.
No.
So, and so you feel...
The only reference I have for that is, it would be Karen, right?
True, yeah. I don't know if she ever, like, talked dirty to you in German or something.
No, I'm just thinking about her and Carl talking.
Oh, right. Oh, that's true. Right. Yeah, so it does remind you a little bit of that. But then, like, as you lift your face and you look around... you can see the other 2 women have moved in a little bit.
What do they look like?
Right. Well, so one of them, they all look like Northern European types, right? One of them has kind of like brassy brown hair and softer features than the first one, we'll say. And yet somehow more calculating in the way that she's looking at you. She's wearing like kind of similar like not exactly combat garb, but sort of infiltration garb, I guess you could say, in the fact that she's wearing like a duster and khaki colored trousers and a shirt with a tie, with a dark green tie, and then boots as well. And then the other one, you look over and she looks young. Like she looks like she was maybe 20 or 21 when she was embraced. And she's like in full, like almost like paramilitary garb, you know. She looks like some kind of like guerrilla insurgent, you know.
Oh my god, wait.
And she's like sort of classically blonde, like a sort of golden blonde, you know.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember our characters that we played in that last Stop.
What was that?
Stop it.
What? No.
Stop it. Okay.
Cast your mind back.
There's only 3?
There's 3 of them, yes.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there was 3 vampires in addition to another one, but no? Oh, stop it. Whatever.
You'll just have to go back and listen to Winds of Change. Our special 2-part one-shot.
Okay, so I'm seeing these 3 women, right?
Yes, you see these 3 women. So you take them all in. So in terms of like who's the weakest,
they all look pretty fierce.
They all look fierce. Let me have you make a roll.
No.
Awareness, I think.
Yeah. Plus awareness plus, would it be intimidation?
No, because awareness
Or
is the ability, so we have to go up to attributes.
Oh shit!
And pair it with an attribute.
Awareness.
So
plus,
I would say wits plus awareness.
Wits plus awareness. What?
Difficulty 6.
Okay. Oh, whoa.
Oh, whoa.
Uh-oh. Okay. All right. I'm gonna keep that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a phenomenal success, as it says here.
I feel like I'm like even more like I'm on more alert because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when you're really hungry, you're just like, I gotta find something to eat. Like, well, you know, and I think you just start honing in on like, what can I do to get more food?
Okay. So what you can sense is that all of these kindred have blood potencies that are on par with your own. Okay. And in fact, the slightest, the petitest of them, the first one that you saw, is possibly even more potent than you. Furthermore, you can sense that like none of them would be like elder level of power, but all of them are, well, no. The first 2 that I described are what you would call an ancilla. And the third one is possibly a neonate. Oh, okay. So I think just with a phenomenal level of success, these aren't like the terms in your head per se.
But I can sense their.
But like
I can sense their age.
Yeah. So the third one, the youngest one, is basically your equal. So she's not weaker than you, but she is the least powerful of the 3.
Okay, so I'm looking at them. Like I bet I look deranged.
Right. So you've got
my hair is crazy.
Your hair's dirty. You're dirty.
Yeah.
And then just the wet the blood and the soil have mixed together, but also because you were just gulping more blood down, it sort of washed it away from your face. So now your face is just sort of spattered with blood. Yeah. But then it's also just down your chest and it's on your hands.
And my chest has the Kigo, I think, on it.
It does.
Possibly I'm still feeling it.
I think so.
I feel like I might feel it more when I'm at a lower ebb. Like it's like more painful.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So I feel this heaviness in my chest.
Yeah.
And that thing's probably glowing.
Not that you would know.
I don't
if
see
any
it.
If any of them have aspects, they would be able to see it, but of course we don't know that.
I have a heaviness in my chest and I'm like looking at them.
So all of this, of course, takes place over the course of like half a second.
Right.
So they were talking to each other in German and in very kind of like calm tones, like almost like observational,
Yeah.
And then as you are looking up and looking around, the first one that you saw, the slightly built one, starts speaking in English, and she has like a kind of like, you're like, is that a Russian accent? I don't know what that, some kind of, what is that, Slavic, like,
Oh my God.
and she says, "You're in Evans, I presume."
I nod.
"I am Wanda Bosco. These are my compatriots. We are Valkyries, and we have been sent by your grandsire to retrieve you. She has some questions for you."
I need blood.
All right. So she says, "That can be arranged."
So I feel like wild-eyed and...
Yeah.
So I'm looking around, like I hear the fire.
Right.
Like you said. So I'm starting to get nervous.
You for the first time you notice, like on a hill kind of behind, so you can see the city out one direction, like you said, and then on the hill back in the other direction, back towards the park, you can see like a slight little orange glow highlighting a hill, and as if sort of sensing like what you're thinking, Wanda says, "Time is of the essence. A small fire has broken out and is moving this way. We should not linger."
I'll go with you.
Okay. So she extends a hand.
I take it.
Okay. You stand up, and I don't think vampires would really experience like unsteady legs or whatever.
No, but I mean,
But
I'm
you feel the
desiccated.
weakness.
Yeah, I'm desiccated. I'm not as powerful as I'm used to being. Mm-hmm. It's because like I'm all withered. You know?
Yeah.
Like once I get more blood, then things will fill out.
Right.
But I'm not stumbling, but I'm just weaker.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stiffer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you cast another glance back towards the hill, and you can see that full moon is rising above the fire, so it's this sort of blood moon. And then you hear some howling.
And I'll just say lupine.
And they know what that means. And you hear
I
the
can like barely choke it out.
right. You hear the young one go Scheisse, and then I'll ask you to roll wits plus alertness this time.
Oh no. God. I'm not ready. Wits
We're
plus
right back in it, baby.
alertness. Okay, I have a 4 in alertness. I can detect fine details.
Okay.
I definitely don't have enough blood to turn into a coyote, though. What's difficulty?
I'm gonna say 5.
5? I don't have 10 agains, do I?
If you have a specialty in alertness, you do.
I do. It's just fine details.
Okay. Sure.
I don't know if it applies in this case.
Yeah, actually, it does because of what I'm asking for. So it's not a 10 again. Those just count as 2 successes each.
So 4,
Yeah.
5, 6, 7.
Jesus. May your dice rolling luck continue.
I'm not going to say nothing.
I ain't saying nothing. All right. So, yeah, the fine detail is because what I was asking for was to see if you could hone in on the direction that you're hearing these very aggressively galloping gigantic paws as they tear into the earth, hurtling towards your current location. So what do you want to do?
I'm like, just where's the vehicle?
Yeah. Actually, let me have you make another
Again,
self-control
like,
roll.
Kind of choking this out.
Yeah.
Self-control roll.
Yeah. 4 or better. Difficulty 4.
1.
Okay. All right. So you barely managed to suppress the beast, which wants you to just fucking run
Just
in the
in
opposite
another
direction.
direction.
Fuck these women.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit
Yeah,
about
yeah,
them?
yeah. I don't know.
Who gives a shit about answering questions?
I shouldn't trust anybody.
There's like probably 800 pounds of very furry, angry flesh bearing down on you that's
For
going to
real.
be here in about 2 seconds.
Definitely.
So even though you did maintain your self-control, do you want to act on that impulse? Do you want to just get the fuck out? Or what do you want to do?
I heard grandsire, and that intrigued me.
True.
So I'll just be like a rasp out of my throat and be like, "Where's the vehicle?"
All right. So let me just check something. Yep. Okay. Ah!
Oh my god.
Dropping things. Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Let me help.
No,
you.
I got it. That's
Are
fine.
you sure?
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go to pursuit. It's fine. All right, thank you. All right. See, folks, take care of your storyteller, and they'll take care of you.
Yeah, you're gonna take care of me, all right. I'm dead. No, like that's what happened to my character sheet. Is you drop something and then it got smushed under a chair. You're like,
no, it was even worse
what?
than that. It was even worse than that. I knocked your character sheet off the table.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't. Yeah,
when you weren't there.
Yeah.
And then I sat down on the armchair and I was reading with my foot on the ground, not realizing that the sheet was under my foot. And so every time I was like moving my foot around a little bit, it was like smushing the sheet and like wrinkling it and tearing it, and I felt terrible.
You're like, I wonder what that is. See, I was trying to avoid that story. But
you brought it up actually. So
I was trying to make it sound like it was an accident, but not intentional. You're just grinding your foot into my character sheet. Oh well. And I think you said you had something in the back of your mind. You're like, I think that's Desiree's character sheet, but oh well.
I didn't do anything about it. Yeah.
It's not that serious.
God. Okay.
But that
so
sounds correct.
Let's see here. On foot for every 1 for every 2 yards ahead. Oh well, that's generous.
Where's Arena when you need her?
I know, right? Okay, so it's going to be a dexterity plus athletics roll.
Okay, dex plus, and I'm swift, by the way.
Oh, that's your specialty?
Yeah.
Okay, so 10s will count as 2.
10s will count as 2. So dex plus athletics, which I have 2 in that.
Yep.
I thought I would have more in athletics, but I think I'm more of a brawler.
What is your dexterity?
Dex is 5.
So you can move 35 yards per turn, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and I have celerity as well.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
I forgot about that.
I do. I got celerity. I did not write this down here. It's where is it? Yeah, celerity. I have a 2 in celerity.
Wow.
So I add that too.
So that would count as the extra to your dexterity. So what is your dexterity plus celerity?
It'd be 7.
7?
Yeah.
So you move 41 yards per turn.
Okay, so
that's insane.
So I'm adding 2 extra dice.
So you can run almost the length of a football field in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm like a true blood vampire.
You are.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you would add 2 dice to your
5
to your pool.
Okay. So that's 2, 4. So that's 9.
Okay.
That means nothing, everybody. That, by the way, that means fucking nothing. I'm doing a counter spell. It means nothing that I have this many dice. I'm just gonna say.
True.
All right, so am I rolling up here?
Let me one moment here.
Oh my god.
Not that this would like affect your roll.
Oh.
I just want to lay down the the terms, right?
Sure, of course. Yeah.
So, let's see here. So, interesting.
Oh no.
Oh, that's very interesting indeed. All right, so
they would notice my eyes. I wonder if they noticed my eyes.
No doubt.
Maybe that's what they were saying to each other. Like, what the fuck is his face? Like,
or like, yep, he's got those coyote eyes that we were told he would have.
What?
You know,
he has those whiskers.
He's got them whiskers. Okay, so
the ears only pop up if I'm stressed.
Okay.
And the whiskers.
That's fucking hilarious. Are you sure those were permanent?
It seems like they're not.
Yeah, because I know the eyes were permanent.
Eyes were permanent.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
The eyes are permanent.
But, yeah. Okay, so you are in a very interesting position because, so basically when you were being chased, what? You're like, yeah.
Keep going. I'm scared.
When you were being chased, it's a very simple rule. If the chaser is faster than the pursued, then they catch up automatically.
Of course.
You can't roll dice.
Right.
So that's why I was figuring out your running speed.
But these ladies, they're not.
I don't know what their deal is. I'm looking that up right now. In your case, though, it's going to be interesting because
I'm going to have to turn around and fight.
No
blood,
no,
David.
you're okay. What I'm saying is that the pursuing lupines also have a combined dexterity plus their version of celerity of 7. So their speed is exactly yours, which means we're going to have to roll for it.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean?
Well,
I already knew I have to roll for it.
Well, but there was a chance you couldn't have, right?
Oh, right. But as for I'm saying I have to turn and fight, meaning these ladies don't have my same level of speed. So
perhaps. Well, you don't know that. You don't know that. Remember, they're as potent as you are.
I'm just saying his bias is like.
Oh yeah,
probably.
I have to protect these women. Yeah. All right, so.
Or at least protect them so that I can get what I need.
Correct. All right, now rolling. You do have a head start, so that's going to give you extra successes for free. Okay.
Okay.
So you're a fair amount. You're a fair bit ahead of them by the time you start running. So I'm going to say you get 5 successes for free. Okay.
5.
Everyone does. Everyone in your party is going to get 5 free successes.
Okay.
Okay. And then we are going to roll. I just want to make sure we're doing.
I know this is all necessary stuff, but then I just start losing my mojo the second you start talking.
Okay, good. That's one of my. It's one of my dirty storyteller tricks.
It really is.
Okay.
It just deflates the whole excitement.
Each success that the quarry accumulates beyond the pursuer's total acts as a +1 difficulty to any perception roll a pursuer must make to remain on the target's tail. Interesting. The storyteller may call for the pursuer to make a perception roll at any time. If the pursuer fails this roll, the target is considered to have slipped away. On a botch, the pursuer loses their quarry immediately. If the quarry botches, you stumble or end up at a dead end. Okay. So they are going to start with a +5 difficulty to their perception rolls once they have to make them. But let's roll. Go ahead. Dexterity plus athletics.
Plus all the other
beyond
stuff
the pursuer's total. Okay.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty I think is normal, which would be 6.
6.
Yeah, difficulty 6.
Oh my god, 6? 1, 2, 3. Hey,
3.
I'll take it.
Okay, so that's 8 successes total.
I'll take it.
Now I have to roll.
Not proud of it, but I'll take it. Even if it was 1, I would take it.
Well, sure. Whoa.
What the hell?
I'm dropping things. I'm so nervous and excited.
That's really nice.
Thank you.
I cursed it.
Oh, boo. All right, so let's see. I'll make sure I've got. Yep. Okay. Right. So I'm just going to roll for your pursuer here.
Oh my. Don't like the sound of all those.
Interesting. 0 net successes.
What?
Yeah. So let me roll for.
Don't tell me there's one for every one of us.
Of course there is.
No.
I got 2 lupines, 1 for each of you. All right, so
that was a success, I imagine.
It was. So.
Oh no.
All right, so
if you kill my character from that thing, I'm gonna be mad. I don't even remember her.
I know, right? You're like, oh.
I don't know.
All right, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes accumulated. Okay, and that's 1, 2, 3. They got rolling much better for you than the other ones, the other pursuers.
Yeah, I know.
So that's 1. Okay. And okay. 1, 2. Okay.
They had to have known.
Well, they didn't figure on the wildfire flushing them out.
Oh, shit.
So, okay, and then I'm going to give them their own chances here. Sadly, none of them have celerity.
What?
That's on you guys.
I blame Kenny.
It is all Kenny's fault, no doubt.
And Jen.
Jen, but not you. You're
I'm fine.
You're blameless.
I'm totally innocent here. Just a normal man.
Uh-huh.
But both of them, really, I'm going to have a chat with
them. All right.
Cool. As long as the keys are in the ignition, I'm fine. And the door's unlocked, I'm good.
All right, so you start running. They, Wanda, she shouts, that way, and you just start running down one of these paths, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you go tearing off and very quickly outpace the 3 of them.
Oh, God. Okay.
What do you want to do?
I want to look for this vehicle.
Okay. So,
I I don't know their names. I don't know who these women are. I don't know any of it.
I just love the visuals that these games generate. So here's this like completely naked man covered in dirt and mud and blood.
Yeah.
Fucking just tearing down this running path.
Yeah.
At like inhuman speeds.
Yeah.
And your feet just like slapping the asphalt as you run.
Yeah.
And so
because it's a combination of like running trails and like paved and dirt.
Right.
So there's two types.
Yeah. Okay. So
some are footpaths and some are actual streets.
So I'm going to ask your familiarity.
Sure.
Because I know you'll be honest with me.
Yeah, I will.
The spot that you're envisioning, how far is it from the nearest parking lot?
So it'll be above the observatory. So basically,
if they had parked in the observatory, maybe?
Yeah. So they parked in the observatory parking lot. So.
Sorry, it's just like, again, one of the most famous and well-trafficked parts of Griffith Park.
But it's like after midnight, I would assume.
Yeah.
And there's a fire.
Yeah.
So like, it's weird. So there's a lot of weird shit going on.
It is weird.
And it's I don't know personally, but it's the late 90s.
Right.
Not as much surveillance as we have now.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So these women parked in that parking lot right in front of where the observatory is, and then hiked up the hill to where this hill is.
Right.
Where Aaron was.
Right.
And then we're just zooming down, going over this bridge.
Okay,
and
there's a bridge.
Yeah, there's a little bridge, and then it leads to the parking lot. There's like a little mini park, and then there's the parking lot for the observatory, and then the observatory is on the edge of the cliff.
Okay. So I'm just going to ask for one more set of rolls then.
Right. So I had 5, and then I had...
Yeah, so you have 8 accumulated... I'm tracking it here. You have 8 accumulated successes.
But I'm just looking. I have 5, and then 2. I had 9 dice, yeah. 9.
Oh, okay.
I think.
No, I think you had... Oh, yeah, because you're athletics. Yeah, that sounds right.
6 or better?
Mm-hmm. One's cancel.
I'm no.
Just we've been playing Chronicles, so we got to get back into that headspace. 4. Wow. Well, I got 2 this time, but that's still a net positive of 2. So you've accumulated 10 successes, which basically would make it impossible for them to... That would be a plus 10 to difficulty, so it would make it impossible for them, even on difficulty 1, to track you.
Aaron's a powerful beast.
My God. Well, welcome back. Okay, so let me see here. Let me just make...
But the lights are different. Like, I can tell, like, the lights have been, like, they're brighter.
Yeah.
They've probably been replaced. It seems more, like, vulnerable. Like, I can see more.
Yeah.
But I can be more seen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Right. So, in other words, you don't know what a halogen lamp is.
No. I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
This is brighter than I remember.
Right. Okay.
We got
whoa. Hello.
Background here. Okay.
It's
fine.
It's all right. Is it distracting?
It's very fucking distracting.
Okay. I will just hit forward on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so you go across this bridge, and then you're running down, and you emerge out into this parking lot. So sure enough, as you suspected, it's late, and so there are only like a couple of cars that are like parked over near the observatory. But there's also like evidently some kind of little command center that's been set up for the wildfires, because it's like a couple of fire engines and then like a fire marshal's truck, and there's guys standing around.
Command center.
Or
incident command
system, incident command something. So and there's guys on walkie-talkies, and they're consulting maps and pointing up, and like by this point you can kind of see where the fire is. It's just climbing one of the hills, and there's like a fire helicopter passing overhead and dumping a big load of retardant. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm gonna give them a roll.
Yeah, because they'll pour a combination of like flame retardant, like fire, and then water, and like, oh my God.
Oh wow, Jesus Christ.
What?
5 successes.
Of what?
So the fire marshal,
oh no.
He's the adrenaline's pumping, he's on the lookout for anything untoward, and so as you come tearing onto the parking lot area with no subtlety whatsoever. And let's face it, you're a naked white guy under a full moon. You are like a shining silvery beacon.
Okay.
Because wait, did we determine that Aaron like had a tan when he was embraced? Or you have blush of life.
Blush of life.
So you're not like super pale.
No, but more pallid than usual.
More pallid than usual.
Not very much blood.
But speaking of blood, you're also you're also half covered in blood. So he sees you, like you lock eyes with him from like 20 yards away, and you can actually see him mouthing like, "What the fuck?" Can
I run opposite? Like,
yeah.
Can I go run to hide in the bushes somewhere?
Well, as we know from Rebel Without a Cause, if nothing else, the parking lot is also kind of a observatory deck, right? Mm-hmm. There's like those little observatory telescopes.
It's not in the parking lot.
Oh no, where is it?
They're they can be like along the side. They're like on the sidewalk.
Oh, it's up in the sort of like
and
promenade
also in the very front of
area. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay.
But the parking lot's below that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind. Mm-hmm. But there is a little low retaining wall, and then there's just
hill.
Yeah. So if you're really desperate, you could just hurl yourself.
I do not
like
want to
They Live style.
Yeah.
You could just.
I'm just gonna start just falling. Yeah, diving directly into that. Be like, see you later.
Bye. All right.
Yeah.
So maybe with like one last glance back, you can see the youngest one wasn't too far behind you.
Okay.
But she has like pulled up, A, because she saw the incident command center.
Yeah.
But B, because she also has outdistanced her compatriots. And so she's turned around and is clearly like bracing herself to like run back up and grab her sisters or defend them. But that's as you are about to jump over the side.
I'm taking care of myself.
Okay. So,
oh my God.
Give me a Dex plus athletics roll to have a controlled slide and not
it's not.
not go tumbling down. And we'll make this difficulty it's challenging, so 7.
1.
Okay.
1 success.
Okay. So take like a point of bashing damage as you kind of go oof ah ooh ah ee, ooh ah ah, and you just get covered in a bunch of like thorn bush scratches and God. A twig sticks into your shoulder and you just pull it out, you know. But eventually and you just land down at the bottom of this slope, and that would be, again, just conjecturing here, but like probably you're closer to a main street by the time you get to the bottom of the slope.
Yeah, I'm closer to like one of the roads, paved roads out. So what you would drive to get out of the park, but on like the official park entrance. Thomas Guide back in action. So it's basically where you go in to Griffith Park, one of the main entrances. I think it's on Los Feliz, and it's where you would also go in to go to the Greek Theater as well. Okay. So it's that main entrance point, which I think is off of Los Feliz, but I don't remember.
Alrighty. So while I look that up, we'll just say that you are close to Los Feliz. And where do you want to go?
I'm a naked man covered in dirt.
You're naked and afraid.
I'm naked and afraid. Both are true.
Both are these things.
And I'm looking up. I think once I get to the entrance of the park.
Yeah.
I'm just looking up at the hill and I'm trying to hear what's going on.
Okay.
Do I hear the lupine? Do I hear the other vampires?
Give me another Wits plus alertness roll, please.
Wits plus alertness. Really? Alertness? No, it's awareness.
No. Awareness is the supernatural one.
I know.
Alertness.
I want to hear supernatural sounds.
But
I don't want to hear...
You're trying to listen for like howling and
That's
other sounds. No, not in that sense. Not in that sense. The source is supernatural, but it's still real world.
What's the
6. We'll say 6.
I fail.
Okay. So yeah, there's fire choppers overhead. And then there's sirens in the background. So that's about all you can make out. Okay. So I love that this fire marshal's going to have this story about like some crazy dude getting flushed out of Griffith Park by the fire, and like God only knows what he was up to up there, you know. Okay. So, what do you want to do?
I'm going to stand there. I'm just going to wait. Because like maybe they'll get out of it And
right.
if they try to drive out, I can jump in front of the vehicle.
Okay. Okay, so
I'm willing to wait only so long.
Yeah.
All
right, so you've been standing there for about 10 minutes when you hear a van approaching up the street, and you look down the street and you can see that it has on top of it the sort of antenna array that you would expect for like a news van.
Oh, I'm gonna hide.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide myself.
So you homer your way back into the bushes, and it drives past. It's a KOAT news truck that's heading up. Oh, yeah. KOATs are New Mexico.
Yeah.
KABC.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are they doing so far from New Mexico?
KTTV.
KTLA. KTLA. Oh, well, KTLA. Our faves. Yeah. Yes. Okay, fine. So they're heading up towards, towards the fire, no doubt, to get a live broadcast going.
That's fine. I'm waiting for whatever. I'm trying to look for these women.
All right. So I'm looking at the Thomas guide here. Let's see. I'm just trying to.
Do you want me to look at it?
Determine. No, I got it here. So it actually shows the observatory, which is very cool. So I'm going to say that you ended up. You look around. You see a street sign. You ended up not appropriately enough, but sort of funnily enough, on a little street called Nottingham Avenue.
Oh.
Yeah.
And where is that? I don't understand. What's a cross street?
Well, this street will eventually connect with Los Feliz, like we said.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I'm still in the park.
You are. You're on the periphery of the park.
Okay.
Yeah, you're basically Nottingham Avenue sort of terminates right on the periphery of the park there. Okay. So.
All right. So. I'm waiting. I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. So, right. So you're waiting around, and like what you can see is that the news van actually had pulled to a stop a couple hundred yards up from you.
Oh.
And there's like a cul-de-sac where it just terminates. So that's where they're setting up their broadcast.
Okay.
So because it's like the hills are above them, and there's like, the flames and stuff. So they're going to get a nice dramatic shot from below. So this is actually not a street that would like give access to the park specifically. So if they're coming out by vehicle, it would not be in this. They would not cross your path.
I don't know if you're thinking about okay, I mean, that's fine as a GM if that's your
I'm looking at the Thomas guy.
If that's your setting. I'm thinking I have something visually in my mind that is would be connected to the park. But you're right about that, because you'd have to access certain things. So they would have to either take the dirt roads, like they could drive down the dirt roads if they really wanted to like get into that area, but I don't know if they know where I am. So
Right.
I'm just shrug and
yeah, I was just basically what I did is it shows where the observatory is.
Okay.
And I just went what is south of there towards the city. And if you were to basically fall down the hill, you would actually end up really quick? Yeah, sure, come on over here.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like
I'm not trying to note you to death.
No, I just want to make sure that I like
Okay, so there's the observatory.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont.
So I was at Vermont, like I was
you were thinking Vermont.
At Vermont and Los Feliz, like right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but since you tore off cross country,
I basically went east, passed behind rolled down the hills, went through the picnic grounds, and then linked up to where this is. And there's like golf course.
Oh, so you're saying you would have gone that way?
Yeah, like by Glendower and all that, like all that.
Okay, so then let's say you're on Glendower. Okay. Let's put you there.
Yeah.
Okay. I almost said Glendower, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's what I remember driving in there. Because I would drive into that entrance all the time.
Oh, funny.
As me.
As me.
I would drive in there to go for hikes up in the park.
Right.
So I would drive there, and I'd always go past the Greek.
But actually, what I said stands because Glendower and Nottingham actually intersect.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it's...
Yeah, they're definitely cut off because what's over there is what happens is when you hike it, you're going up... And then you're like, oh, here's dirt. Like you drive in there.
Yeah.
The park.
It's like a trailhead.
It is.
Yeah.
And then, exactly. And then you will go on these dirt paths. And then you can hike all the way up to where the street is.
Mm-hmm.
So like as you're hiking up the hill, you're going to get to the paved street roads that people take to go to the observatory proper.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So the only thing that changes really is that you're closer to Vermont than Los Feliz.
Right, not much. I just wanted to get it oriented in my mind. Like,
although, again, I mean, isn't it in Mulholland Drive when she walks away from the car, or actually goes down and hits Los Feliz, or is it some other street? Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay. I am picturing that, though, like when she's walking down out of the hills, and then she's just suddenly, you're in the city.
Yeah.
You know, so that's very much it.
Okay.
You're in a residential neighborhood.
I'm in a neighbor. Oh, I'm not in the park anymore.
Right, correct. Yeah, you're on Glendower. So Glendower is, these are semi-rural or semi-urbanized streets.
All right, so...
There are residences in this area is what I'm trying to say.
So I'm just walking.
Yeah, so how do you want to...
Well, I want to find a public bathroom. So I can just at least wash my face off. Like,
I see it's marked here picnic grounds next to Glendower. So yes, you don't have to walk very far before you see a public bathroom. Mm-hmm. And you walk in. And
hopefully no one's cruising, because I mean that's a thing.
It is a thing, but fortunately with the fire and everything, most people have cleared out.
Okay.
Not that it's like, it's, as it turns out, it's like a 5-acre blaze. It's not something that's going to be like, oh my God, the observatory is in danger. But it just happened to be near to where you were torporing.
Okay.
So you walk inside this public bathroom, and like it has little motion sensor lights. So the fluorescents like click on and start buzzing as you walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just part of the ongoing LA efforts to development to make public spaces safer.
Well, there's no mirrors.
That's true.
But there's a sink with a faucet.
Yeah.
And I can turn it on and just wash my face off.
Yeah. So you watch as like the disgusting dirty water is like
my arms
flowing down into the sink.
I'm totally naked again.
You wanted to emerge naked, I'll just say.
I do. I think it's appropriate.
I do too.
I think the clothes would just
I think it's great.
Fall apart.
Especially considering your vision that you had right before you woke up.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm thinking about, and I'm like wondering, like, was that Karen like in my dream, like in that vision?
Yeah.
Like Karen being attacked.
Right. Yeah.
Like, am I thinking back on those visuals or those images in my mind?
Right. So, I mean, as we all know, when you try and like remember a dream, they can slip away pretty easily. So I'm going to have you roll.
Oh.
And this will be a I forgot there's a perception. I kept having you roll wits.
Oh, perception.
I should have had you roll
awareness.
perception plus. Yeah. Classic.
But they're both 3, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, good. Well, noted for the future.
Is this perception plus awareness?
Let's go with that.
Because awareness is dreams are supernatural.
Yeah. Or not of this world. Yeah.
Okay, 6. Okay, that's 60, 10.
Yeah, it would only matter if you had a specialty in one and not the other.
What's the difficulty?
I'm gonna say 7, since a bunch of stuff has happened.
A bunch of stuff has happened. Difficulty 7?
Yes.
4?
Wow. Good for you. Your dice have been waiting for you.
I'm just loving the ride.
You're living in the moment.
I'm just being in the moment.
Okay. 4, huh?
4.
Okay, yeah. So you're thinking back, and it's like through all the pancake makeup, and it was like, again, I'm trying to describe this from like Aaron's sort of intelligence perspective, right? But you, Desiree, know that like when you would get made up for silent movies, they would use like weird colors because they would read better on black and white. So like the eyeshadow would be like green, and your lips would be like kind of almost like a blue rather than a red, So she was in like full movie drag, right? So like very heavy pancake makeup, grease paint, and just like blue lips, and like heavily cold eyes, and then the green eyeshadow. But you're thinking about it, and it's like, that was Karen.
And then I'm thinking about Grandsire, like that's echoing in my mind. Like, and like Karen, like, and then remember what I saw, my vision. I did see a vision when, I think Aaron saw a vision when Karen died.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
And it was like from her perspective.
It was from her perspective, exactly.
So now I'm seeing like both, and it's like just shaking my head, and it's just too much for me to handle.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry, and so I just like run out of the bathroom.
Okay.
And I'm in this like picnic grounds, like a meadow.
Yeah.
And it's so surreal because it's like I can hear the city, I can feel the city, but I'm in like a meadow.
Yeah.
So I start walking toward the sounds of life.
Yeah. And those good old Sandana winds, those devil winds are still blowing.
Winds are blowing.
They feel a little warmer down here in the city.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. Mm-hmm. You're not that much further below the hill, but it's like just coming down off the mountains, it's starting to feel warmer. So so you're walking into the city, you say?
Yeah.
What's your plan?
I don't have one.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I do know.
Go ahead.
I don't know how much time has passed. So I'm going to find a phone booth.
Okay.
I'm naked.
Again. Can't
I'm
emphasize
naked
that
and
enough.
unafraid.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm using the phone while naked.
And confident.
So I'm going to find a payphone. Not a phone booth, but I'm going to find a phone.
Oh, payphone.
There's probably a phone in the park.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you're walking along these picnic grounds, and of course there's like little small parking areas.
Yeah.
You know, they're like for 10 or 15 cars. And so, like the first one you get to, there's just, one of these. It's not a phone booth. It's just a phone stand, right? A phone kiosk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it sounds so like cyberpunky, but
right.
It's just a phone. It's a payphone, period.
It's a payphone under a little like hood, essentially.
So I pick it up and I hit I hit the little
0. Oh, yeah. The
to call the operator, which
Okay. So, it rings through and, Pacific Bell.
What year is it?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you imagine this operator like, what's the weirdest question you've gotten?
Yeah.
What year is it?
Okay,
and again, there's like probably dirt. Like my throat is really raspy. I haven't talked in forever.
Yeah.
Barely squeaking out.
Yeah, you just sort of rasped out like they're coming or whatever.
Like lupine.
Lupine.
Where's the vehicle?
Right.
Like, what year is it?
And so there's this like moment of silence, and then
it sounds creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about it. Like friendly face, but not voice. Like the voice sounds surreal.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just think about the idea of like a vampire's voice.
Yeah.
Like it's air that's being vibrated, like it's vibrating through these fucking vocal cords that are not supposed to really be alive still.
Yeah.
And they're not a Nosferatu, but I'm just saying, it's fucking weird. It's a surreal sound.
Dude, even the suavest toreador is still a fucking walking corpse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like vampires are still weird little guys.
Yeah.
And,
So what year is it?
So, like I said, there's this like little pause, and then this like you actually hear this like exhalation as if they're sort of fed up,
like a live one.
Yeah,
prank calls.
And then they just go, "It's 1998, buddy, okay?" And then hangs up.
So I'm like, so I hang up, and then out of the recesses of my eidetic memory,
yes.
Did Derek have a cell phone?
He had a pager.
I'm gonna try it. That's the only phone number I know.
Can you place a collect call to a pager?
I'm gonna try.
Actually, hold on.
Oh wait, I know we don't have a luck mechanic.
I know.
Are there coins in the?
Yes. I was gonna say.
So I'm gonna absolutely
life hack.
Can I absolutely just put my fingers into the little coin return?
Yeah.
And there's coins.
There's a dime, which would not be enough for like a full call, but you can drop it in, and that'll get you a dial tone, and then you can just punch in the pager number.
I'm gonna punch it in
and then hang up. Okay.
Dial the pager, put my phone number, the phone number of the payphone, and hang up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. Look, everybody. Look. Listen to me. We don't plan this. We are playing the game.
Literally, my notes are just how I was going to start it, and then I just have a bunch of notes on who everyone is right now and where they are and what they're up to.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I mean, we don't know.
Right.
We don't know.
So I know what Derek's up to. I know where he is. And I'm trying to think, like, would he still have that pager?
Right.
Right.
We don't know.
people had pagers. See,
Yes, they did.
The funny thing is
Yes, they
that in the first Nightlife trilogy, which I think you called, so we had Final Nights and Modern Nights, and then you actually coined a term for the first trilogy.
Oh, did I?
Which I think it was like oh god, it was good. It was like New Nights or something like that, but better. It was better than that, but it was like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it was good. You had a name for it. See if you can remember. Anyway,
No, I can't.
listeners, if you remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, in that original trilogy, the funny part was that like Derek having a pager was like a big deal.
Yeah.
Like you got him that pager.
Yeah.
You know, because like only like doctors and drug dealers had
So
pagers.
people were still having pagers. I mean, this was right on
But
the
I
cusp
remember
of-
it was right around this time
Yeah.
that like Alex got a pager.
Yeah.
And it would like go off while we were in a game session. And we'd all be like, come on, dude. Like,
what is wrong
put the
with
fucking
you?
pager away. Oh, it's
Right.
your girlfriend paging you that she loves you. Oh, great. All right. Anyway, moving on. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No time for love.
No time for love. So they're actually, unbeknownst to Aaron, like this is kind of like the pagers peak
It
time.
is. It really is.
A lot of people have pagers at this point. So I'm thinking it's like Derek would have a different pager, right? They got
Updated.
smaller and
Yeah,
they got
updated.
lighter,
Yeah.
but it's probably the same number.
Who knows?
Like, why would he have changed his number?
I don't know.
You know?
It's up to you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Guess
say
he's giving it to other people.
I'm gonna say he has the same pager number. It's just a different pager.
Damn.
And it's probably like hot pink and like kind of semi-translucent plastic, so you can see the circuit board inside.
I was
you know,
thinking like green.
oh yeah,
the
lime
lime
green.
green.
Let's go with that. So anyway, you don't know that, but
No,
you know. So you're waiting to see if he's going to call you back.
I just don't know.
How do you want to wait for that?
I'm just looking around me. I'm still worried. I'm like looking up in the hills, like if I can hear any lupine. Like I still feel like I'm under threat.
Okay. So your ears are perked, and so therefore you can hear a vehicle making its way up Glendower, was that the name of the street, towards your location.
So I'm like, can't be. Like, So I'm kind of hiding again. Like I might hide under a table.
Yeah.
You know, like I just don't want to be visible.
Right.
So I'm gonna like crouch.
But
down.
you got to stay close to the phone in
I
case
am.
it rings.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so you've moved away from the phone because it was like, no doubt it was under like a little street lamp,
Yeah.
right? So you've moved out of the radius of light of the street lamp, and
Oh, I know. Because sometimes in like those parking lots, you know, there's like a planter and then like a tree will be there.
yeah.
So I might be like up against the tree.
Okay.
It's like a bigger oak.
Yeah.
And so I'm standing against the base of the tree, just staring at that phone to see like if it's gonna ring, and then like rushing to it if it does.
So as you're waiting, you hear this car drawing closer, and then
I'm in shadow, is what I'm trying to say.
oh yeah, I got you. And then the car is coming up the street, and you can see from the headlights, it looks like it's
It's like another news van.
no, it's definitely a car. It's you actually recognize it, weirdly enough, because it's from back in the day. It's an
Oh.
older model car.
Okay.
It's a Subaru Brat. And if you don't know what a Subaru Brat is, because few perhaps do, it was sort of like their attempt to do this hybrid car truck design.
Yeah.
So it's the front end looks like a car.
Yeah.
Or a sedan.
Yeah.
But the back end is like an open bed.
Yeah.
That had like two rearward facing seats.
Yeah.
Which is really weird.
It is really weird.
But yeah, so it's a Subaru Brat,
Very sporty.
and it's got like whoever's driving it, obviously, and then maybe someone in the passenger seat. But then you just hear a lot of hooting and hollering from the back, and there's like maybe 3 people in the back, and they come pulling into the parking lot.
Oh no!
And then do this
David.
like very kind of insouciant parking job where they just kind of pull diagonally across like 3 parking spaces, and you can see that it's just a carload of like teenage boys, and like one of them has weirdly a jack-o'-lantern, which he then hurls onto the asphalt, and it shatters, and they all like laugh and, you know, high five each other. And then they start
It's quite the accomplishment.
they start debarking, and you can hear
Oh,
the clink.
debarking.
You hear the clink of beer bottles, and you know, like one of them's wearing. Oh shit! Wait a minute, I gotta check something.
What?
I just have to make sure.
1998.
98. I'm pretty
that's
sure.
That's ringing in Aaron's mind as he's looking at these kids.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So one of them is like a couple of them are wearing like black robes.
Okay.
And one of them, the robe is complemented by like a snood, like a little hood. That has this weird, like, white face mask that looks like this sort of distorted ghost face, if you will.
Yeah, stretched out scream.
Stretched out screaming ghost face.
Yes. One of them has that?
One of them's wearing that, yeah. The other one's just wearing the robes, and then there's just, the third guy is just like in street clothes, and then the driver and the passenger get out. They're similarly attired. So...
There's no Michael Myers masks.
No Michael Myers masks.
I'm
sadly.
surprised.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, like in '98, like everyone had a Scream mask. Ensemble.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
And these are teenagers, so like only like half of them were even like dressing up.
Wanted to dress up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The others were too cool for it.
Yeah.
So although like actually no, like one of them you think he's like in street clothes, but then you realize he's like dressed up like some hair metal rocker.
Okay.
Like Axl Rose or something.
Right.
He's wearing this like cheap blonde wig
and the bandana over
and the bandana. Yeah.
And then I'm like, Willie Nelson? Because did I miss out on some Guns N' Roses? I mean,
well, no, you pieced out when they were still at their height.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Use your illusion.
Yeah, that's right. Oh God. Okay.
November Rain.
That's right.
So
I'm looking at them.
Yeah, so they're all like, oh, and then like, yeah, they're just, they've got a 6-pack and they're just walking out into the park, and then the phone starts ringing.
I run to the phone. I don't care.
You don't care.
Well, it's like, I'm bigger than them. I'm stronger than them. I
could
eat them if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm a naked man. That's going to freak them out.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay.
I need this phone call. So I run to the phone.
I need a friendly voice.
I do.
Okay. So, by the way, I love, again, not planned. I just love how this is mirroring the early, like Act 1 of Neon Masquerade as well, where you went to Karen's mansion and then you went tearing off into the wild.
What I do.
But that was because you were like I can't get shot by cops, because you didn't realize yet that you actually, yes, you can.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah.
Whereas in this case, it was a more informed decision of like, I'm being chased by werewolves, and now I've been marked by first responders. So
that's right.
Okay, so
run to the phone.
So you go running across, and of course they see you, and in the manner of teenage boys everywhere who think they are invincible and who have had a few, they, they're kind of like, hey man, check that out,
the hard way. Okay, so they're pointing at me.
They're pointing and laughing.
Yeah.
And you go running up and you pick up the phone. What do you say?
Hello. Again, it's raspy.
Hello, who is this?
Derek, this is Aaron Evans. I'll say my full name.
Yeah.
This is Aaron Evans.
There's like this long pause.
Can you imagine? You're like, oh, thank God. Oh my God.
There's this long pause.
Can you imagine? You're like, thank God that part of my life is over.
And then he's...
oh, shit. And then here he is again.
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
It's a little in-joke for you on cinema fans out there.
On cinema.
So, there's... No. Well, yeah, so you're like, is he stunned because he's happy, or because he's like shocked and like afraid? And then there's just like, there's like a 5-second silent pause, and then he just goes, where are you?
Yes! I'm in Griffith Park. I'm there's the picnic grounds
off Glendower.
I think so.
All right, I'll send a driver for you.
A driver? All right, well, I'm gonna need some pants.
So he kind of laughs and he's like, glad to hear nothing's changed, bro. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Sit tight.
All right. Oh my God.
So he clicks off.
I'm oh my God. So I kind of smile to myself. Feels weird.
Yeah.
I hang up the phone.
Yeah.
Click on the hook.
Yeah.
Or the receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, my eyes, like, turn to look at these guys. Are they still looking at me?
They're still laughing and pointing at you, and one of them's, like, clearly self-consciously quoting Terminator 1. Wash day, nothing clean, right?
So sick.
Not realizing that they are in every bit as much danger as, like, if it actually was a Terminator.
So I get nervous because I know that the werewolves, like, I can't, let me roll self-control.
Let
me roll some
excellent.
self-control here.
Excellent. Yes, so you're being taunted.
I'm being taunted,
So-
and I kind of want to, like, yeah.
4 or higher. 4 or higher.
4 or higher, okay. 8 and a 1.
So 0. All right, so time to show these punks a lesson.
For being teenagers, you know? But again, humanity 5.
It's frenzy.
So I just start walking toward them.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes are glowing red,
Yep.
right?
Yep. All right, so they suddenly realize, like, they fucked with the wrong guy, and they start running.
Oh my god.
And you are technically frenzying right now.
Yeah.
So you go chasing after them, and
This is so stupid.
as established earlier, if you have a higher movement rate than your quarry, then you automatically catch them. So you catch the slowest one, Axl Rose, sadly.
Oh.
His wig goes flying.
No.
And you pin him down and sink your fangs into him, and I will be nice and give you one more self-control roll, but it's going to be 6 difficulty. You can spend a willpower for an automatic success.
I'm going to spend a willpower.
Okay, so that gives you an automatic success. But go ahead and make the roll anyway.
What was
6. So 0.
Yeah.
So good thing you spent the willpower.
Yeah.
All right, so you don't drink him dry.
I don't want to do that. Yeah.
You
But
manage.
Do I get 2?
I'm gonna say since you're frenzying,
3?
we're gonna say no. It's still gonna be a life-threatening situation. So you get 5.
Ooh.
So he's passed out from blood loss,
Right.
and he's gonna need a blood transfusion,
Right.
or he's not gonna survive the night.
Okay, so what's happening at this point? So I look up.
Right. So you got the
this.
blood going down your chin and
Yeah, my
throat.
throat. Yeah.
You know, and yeah, they're all like, they stopped running when they heard their friend shout and yell as he hit the ground. They all turned around, but of course none of them, they're all like scared shitless, right? You can smell some urine on the air. One of them's pissed himself.
Yeah.
And you know, and then one of them just sort of like in this act of like futile defiance,
Fight.
hurls a full beer bottle at you. So I'm gonna give him a roll here. Okay, so he's throwing that at you. Let's remind ourselves here as we reacquaint ourselves. So he's throwing something at you, and you get to see, because in Chronicles you have a defense score that subtracts from my pool. But here we go. For range combat, okay. Yeah, thrown weapons, okay. And then you can make a defensive action, block, dodge, or parry.
Okay, I think I might just dodge out of the way.
Okay, so you have to make either spend a point of willpower or roll a successful willpower roll.
Oh, okay.
So that would be your willpower rating, difficulty 6.
Okay, but my willpower, I have 1 less. I spent 1, but that doesn't matter.
No, it's just your dots.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my dots. So 7. Okay, 1, 2, 4. Okay, so 7 or better, or
6.
6 or better. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I don't think you even have to match what I rolled,
Right.
but I rolled 3 as well.
Oh, okay.
So you want to dodge, you said?
Yeah, I'm gonna move out of the way.
Okay, so you just like do this sort of pantherish,
Yeah.
side movement.
Yeah.
Off to the side, and then
Yeah.
the beer bottle sails past and crashes into the parking lot asphalt.
All right.
And then, that's basically all they had to work with. And so having done that, they then all just break and start running again, like screaming at the top of their lungs.
So I stop because I have a good amount of blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're no longer hungry, so the frenzy has faded.
And I'm just like shaking my head. So I walk to the payphone. I dial 911.
Okay.
And I say, and I do my like actor thing, so creepy.
Yes.
I'd be like, a coyote attacked my friend. He's lost a lot of blood. I'm at the picnic grounds at the park. Like, sound totally, like, convincing.
Love that. Oh, my God. It's so sinister.
And then, once it's assured that they're going to be there, I hang up.
All right. Do a manipulation plus expression roll for me.
2 plus 3, 5. Okay. One.
Okay, great. So, yeah, so 911, you say? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the dispatcher takes down the information and says, stay with the victim, don't leave, and I'll send an ambulance and animal control. So they should be there very soon.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Just don't leave your friend.
Okay. So I hang up.
Okay.
And then I go back under the tree to wait for my ride.
All right, so Gangrel clan weakness. Every time a Gangrel frenzies, they acquire a temporary animal characteristic. A patch of fur, a brief torpor after feeding, interesting.
No.
Or skittishness around crowds. All these may mar an outlander after frenzy. Characteristics acquired in Gangrel frenzies need not only be physical, they can be behavioral as well. Players should work with the storyteller to determine what new animal trait is acquired, whether the frenzy involved the fight or flight impulse may be relevant. Over time or in an exceptional situation, a particular animal feature may become permanent. Yes, we all know about that.
We all know.
A good guideline is to require each frenzy gained trait to have some effect grounded in system terms, such as temporary reduction of social attribute dots or permanent loss of humanity, though some storytellers may allow narrative-only traits that can shape the story. So what do you think?
I just want like a patch of fur. I just got out of torpor after 9 year, 7 year, whatever, 6 years. I'm not. Come on, just give me some fur.
Okay, just give me some fur. All right, so yeah, so as you hang up, you notice like the back of your hands has like this fine downy, sort of dog fur growing out of it.
Yeah,
and it sort of extends a little bit up your forearms.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so
on both arms.
On both arms, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll even say your nails are a little sharper, a little more claw-like.
Yeah. Okay.
So you are waiting for your ride.
My fuzzy arms.
So, so like you see after maybe 5 minutes of waiting, you can hear sirens off in the distance. Hard to say if that's the ambulance or if it's more fire trucks.
Right.
Helicopters overhead still, wood smoke on the wind. But as the sirens grow closer, you see this, Lincoln Continental pull into the parking lot. It looks nice. It's like, okay,
like an updated
a late
car,
90s
like a new
Lincoln
car, which is like totally new to me.
Right. It's got kind of like more rounded edges. It's less severe than the Lincolns of yore.
Yeah.
And so it pulls up and doesn't bother parking, but just sort of stops. And then the door opens and a guy gets out, and he looks like he's some kind of professional driver, right? He's got a nice suit and tie, and he's looking around, clearly looking for you.
So I emerge from the tree, like from under the tree.
So he's real pro because he doesn't betray any level of shock or surprise. He just says, "Mr. Evans,
yeah,
right this way, sir," and he steps over and opens the door.
I'm picturing the paramedics pulling up as this is happening too. Like, what the fuck?
It's another night in LA,
That's
man.
right. So I get in and yeah.
Okay. So he closes the door.
Hopefully there's a towel or blanket.
It's leather seats, so
oh God.
Yeah, heated.
I'm naked. I want a blanket. All right.
You're a vampire. You don't care about that
yes,
shit.
I do.
So, no, I mean in terms of wanting a blanket.
I do want a blanket.
Do vampires like
I don't want to mar the leather.
Do vampires have weighted blankets? And
I want to protect my nasty ass from this.
Right. Well, again, as a vampire, you don't exude any oils or sweat.
I'm covered in dust and blood.
True. Your butt cheeks are actually probably one of the cleaner parts of your body at this point,
whatever.
though.
I don't want to talk at length about my butt cheeks. All right, so I'm in the back of this car naked.
So he gets back in.
I put my seatbelt on.
And he pulls away. And as he's pulling out onto Glendower, you can see an ambulance coming up, pulling into the parking lot.
Okay.
And then as you're driving down Glendower towards Vermont, you can see a animal control truck not too far behind. And so
Empire's wasting resources.
I know. So the driver's like, he just drives in silence for a little while, but then he's like, I guess you had a pretty wild Halloween, huh?
They only come out at night.
Ain't that the truth? All right. Well, we'll be back at Mr. Kurtz's place not too long from now. It's a pretty easy drive over to Beverly Hills from here.
No, I don't want to go to Beverly Hills. I'm like, wow, Derek's really made a name for himself.
Oh, sure. Well, hit television series and everything. Brings in a lot of money.
Television. And so then I look out the window.
Yeah.
Do I see like an Angeline billboard?
Of course. Some things never change.
Yeah. Like, But things are different.
Yeah.
So what looks different to me?
Well, let's see. So you get back out onto Vermont.
Probably take Sunset.
Yeah. So you go down Vermont to Sunset. There's Melrose. Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, you drive down a ways. And then, so you're driving down Sunset. And so because of that,
please tell me you see a billboard for his television show. Oh my God.
Well, you wouldn't know what it was, though.
I know,
because,
but it might look familiar.
It's not like, Derek would be on the billboard.
No, but I'm saying like it would be like something that would allude to Nightlife, correct?
We'll see.
The Nightlife Chronicles.
You'll have your opportunity.
All right, I'm just looking around. I'm looking at the billboards. I'm looking at the lights.
So you see some new venues that you don't recognize. Some little like club that's painted black and just says the Viper Room. Stuff like that. Just remind myself of something here.
Yeah. Speaking of which.
Let's see.
Yay.
Okay. Right. What are you thinking of?
The Viper Room.
Oh, yeah, well.
Halloween.
Yeah.
1994?
I think.
Maybe.
3, 4. Anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of people outside. And all the clubs are jumping.
It's Halloween night.
It's Halloween night, and you notice on the digital
See all
clock.
the people in their costumes. And...
Yeah. And you notice on the digital clock display it's 1:30 a.m.
Okay.
But things are still hopping.
Yeah, for sure.
And so you make your way along Sunset and then gradually, out of that area and out towards Beverly Hills. And, eventually...
Some familiarity with this area.
Some. And this area looks pretty much unchanged from what you remember.
Yeah.
And you note, perhaps with a certain level of relief, that that Derek does not reside in some kind of palatial mansion like Louis did.
Right.
But nevertheless, you go along some residential back streets and you pull up outside a very nice little, sort of mission style. I don't know. It's not a bungalow, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a house.
Yeah,
Spanish style, 1920s Spanish style, with like a little turreted tower, right, with a bougainvillea creeping up the side.
It reminded me of Karen's old place.
Yeah, a little bit.
AKA Louie's old place.
Well, that too. White stucco, red tile roof, And, the driver gets out. He pulls all the way up the drive, to the front. And
to the front. I thought there'd be like a back parking area too, because some of those things, some of those homes.
Oh, like they had an old carriage house.
Yeah,
or
like
something?
the really long driveway on the right, and then it would like pull back, so I could go in the back door.
Okay, well I was going to say
a naked man.
Well, I was going to say he like parked the car so that you could just get out the door and go through the front. But that's fine. I like that too. So yeah, he takes you around the back to the servants' entrance, right? And hops out and opens the door for you and
thank you.
Doffs his little driver's cap and says, "You have a good night, sir."
Thank you.
And as you're getting out, the door opens and there stands your old pal Derek. And in the manner of mortals everywhere, he looks a little older. And so
slightly.
He has this very nice sort of manicured beard, cut very close, and his hair is shorter.
Oh, is it?
But it's not like short. It's
Yeah.
just, it's more flowing. But, it used to be like kind of shoulder length, right?
Yeah,
so now it's just like kind of cut down to his ears. And, it's got some mousse in it. So it's, sitting back on his head a little bit.
Right. What's he wearing?
So he is wearing, he's pretty casual, because obviously he wasn't out on the town, which is nice.
That's surprising.
Nice for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just wearing like a black t-shirt and blue jeans, and he's in his socks, and so he opens the door and turns the porch light on, and he's just like,
is it? No, I'm kidding.
And he's just kind of laughing and shaking his head, and he's like, more things change, man. And he like comes up to like do the old
bro
clasp hug, one arm bro hug.
All right, I'll go in for that.
Yeah. Unbothered by the fact you're naked, so he's comfortable in his masculinity.
That's nice. Good concept. Just going backwards.
Yeah, so he's kind of like, you feel him slapping your bare back, and then he's like, "Come on, man, let's get you inside, get you dressed, cleaned up. I want to hear all about it."
Okay. So just going through the process of getting cleaned up, and
so you enter in through this like laundry room. It's got like saltillo tile floor, through this little arched doorway, and then you're like in this hallway, and he just indicates, he's like, here's one of our guest suites, just head on in there. I've got some clothes laid out for you. There's a bathroom, shower if you want. Looks like you need it. And when you're done, I'll just be in the front. Just come find me.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, anytime, man.
I look like kind of confused.
Yeah.
So I will shower. And I will see myself in the mirror.
Yes, you do.
For the first time in a while.
You note you still have those coyote eyes, and you see the fur.
I know.
And there's even some on your shoulders.
Yeah. Like I don't like this.
The beast within.
Maybe it'll go away.
Hopefully.
So I'm cleaned up. I get like a shirt on. What is it? What did he lay out for me?
So actually, when you come out, you notice that like he just kind of left the closet open.
Oh, okay.
And there's like a selection of shirts, pants. There's a dresser with underwear and whatever.
So
I don't know if Aaron goes commando or not.
I don't know. So I'm gonna get like a gray t-shirt. Like a heather gray. And just some lighter colored pants.
Okay.
No, darker denim.
Okay.
And underwear.
Yeah.
And just walk out to the front. Like
okay.
you told me.
All right. Barefooted. Okay. So you're walking down this hallway. And it's you can see like you pass a sort of big open plan kitchen on your left, and then there's like a dining room on your right. And like there's framed things on the hall, and so one of them is like one of those like big multi-picture frames, right? So it's like small, like 5x7s or whatever can like fit inside, and they all appear to be photos of Derek. He's in his like wetsuit, floating in the ocean on a surfboard, but they appear to be all of them are like with different students that he taught in his troubled youth surf instruction courses.
Right.
So unbeknownst to you, I think Ken Patterson would be in there.
There he is.
Yeah.
Ken.
And then you pass the dining room, which looks to be like kind of like the personal dining room, right? It's just got like a small table, like a little hutch. It's nothing fancy. And then so beyond that, it's like the hall sort of starts to turn into more of like part of the front part of the house.
Okay.
And so now you're seeing these framed posters.
Oh.
And they're
let's give it to me.
They have a variety of different like actors and actresses. All of them are like there's 4 of them. All of them are like done up in a way to look very like dark and moody and mysterious. There's like a lot of like full moons lighting up the clouds in the background, and they look like romance novel covers.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Atmospheric.
And then like the actors are like sort of posed in the foreground, they're like looking serious and intense, and they're all looking out at you, the viewer, and brooding, yes, or fierce, And you notice a couple things. You notice like most of the actors seem to be sporting vampire fangs, either directly noticeably or just sort of poking out. And then, each one of them has this like very stylized sort of like spiky, script, like the script on your character sheet there. And in this sort of like iron gray kind of color. And they all say the Nocturne Chronicles.
Oh, so I'm looking at the people.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they look like?
Well, one of them looks not unlike you.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's a busty redhead, and there's a young lady who looks to be of maybe like Asian descent.
What?
And there's, is there
a dark-haired woman?
There's a dark-haired woman. There's a handsome African-American man. There's, like a lot of very familiar visages, you could say.
Like some Hispanic-looking dudes?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Is there a child, like a young boy? No, he doesn't know about Christopher. Mm-mm. Huh. So I'm staring at these, sort of mesmerized.
Mm-hmm. And so you hear Derek's voice, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my show."
Yeah, your driver mentioned it was successful. What is this, Derek?
Well, after you kind of like disappeared,
so I will not understand it. Like, yeah, that's true. Like I did.
I kind of had to like come up with a way to earn a living. So,
wow.
I had some connections through you, right? And I made some phone calls.
So I'll say like Sam.
And he's like, "That's right." So I pitched him something. I called it the Nightlife Chronicles. He thought the Nocturne Chronicles sounded better. So I'm like, who might argue, But, just kind of based it off, well, at least season 1, right? Pilot, certainly. Based it off life. And the show's kind of gone in some crazy directions since then. At this point, I'm just an executive producer. I'm not like a showrunner anymore or anything. But, I made my money. I made my pile.
What are you doing now?
I don't know, man. I'm just thinking about like what I'm going to do next. I mean, they're probably going to cancel the show like in a season or two. I think it's pretty much run its course, to be honest.
What?
But, just looking for the next thing. But, the Hollywood life's not really for me, just, it's really fake, like big news, right? You never heard that before.
Right.
So, I've just been running some charitable organizations and just trying to like do some good with my money, but also I don't know, just on the lookout for maybe the next thing. I'd offer you a drink, but
yeah.
So he's like, "Come on."
All right, so I'll follow him.
Takes you back out into the sort of front living room, front parlor, and it's like the impression you get is that he hired an interior decorator. Yeah. It's very like not him. There's just, sort of Spanish style coffee table and restoration hardware, kind of like leather couches and armchairs and
do you think he
cast iron chandelier overhead,
Does he have like a place to watch movies and stuff?
I'd say he would, yes. Do you want to ask?
Yeah, I'll be like, so where's your video collection?
So he gives you his trademark little lopsided grin, and he's like, "Yeah, you knew I couldn't like give that up." So he's like, "Let's go." So he takes you upstairs, and there's kind of like
wait, are there laser discs or DVDs yet?
DVDs are just starting because I think I got my first DVD player in like 99.
Okay.
So, but he would have a Laserdisc collection. Yeah, for sure. So there's like kind of a half second story, right? This is like the master bedroom and a balcony. So it's a very large bedroom. And so there's like half of it has been turned into sort of a little like private media room, media area. And so he's like, check this out. And he like hits a little remote and the screen starts going down like on the far wall. And this little like, projector kind of plops down, out of the ceiling. And then, he walks over to what I suppose you would recognize as Laserdisc shelf.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. I mean, they were around in the 80s, but...
Yeah, but I've never
You're thinking like,
them.
what is that, a vinyl album?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
So he hits a button on some little machine and this ludicrously huge tray pops out, and he takes out this like chrome disc.
So not sustainable,
right? And then he plops it down and it goes back in, and he's like, Laserdisc. It's pretty cool.
So what's the movie? I want to say Phantasm, but
yes, Phantasm. So Phantasm, or the menu for Phantasm comes up, which in and of itself is like, whoa, right?
Yeah,
it's like a menu.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. Still got my old VHS tapes, of course, because like a lot of the classics aren't out on disc. So, sometimes, and he like pulls back a little sliding door, and you can see like a lot of those old Maxell VHS tapes that he taped all these shows off of, off of like HBO and Cinemax, And you think back to like that first night at his old apartment, and he's just like, you want to watch some movies? So what do you think? What are you thinking?
So I'll be like, it's Halloween. So like
9 years ago.
Yeah. So I go, Derek, it's been 9 years.
And he just walks over and sits down on
no, it's been 7 years. 6 years. 6 years.
No, Halloween of 89.
No, I mean, wait.
You were embraced.
I was embraced in 89, yeah.
On Halloween night.
Yeah, so it's been 9 years, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's been 9 years.
It's been 6 years that you were in Torpor.
6 years since I was in Torpor.
Yes.
So I go, Derek, it's been 9 years.
So he sits down a little side armchair, right? And he's like, damn. And he's had this little like glass of scotch in his hand the whole time. Yeah. So at this point, he finally knocks it back, sets it on a side table. He's like, shit, man. Time flies. Well, who would have thought, huh?
Not me.
Not me either. But you changed my life for the better, man. He like puts his fist out for a little fist bump,
I'll give him like feebly back.
Yeah.
Just outstretch my arm and I'll be like, but Derek, like, don't you want a family or something like that?
That's something else, man. You get famous, you get some money, and you just can't trust anybody anymore. I got all these women like coming, beating a path to my door, and I'm not gonna lie, dated some hot chicks, had some good times, but like they never stay around. So yeah, I would like a family. Like some little Derek's, little Derekitas.
Well, why don't you just move then? I'm sure you'll find somebody not here.
Move where? Like, I've been in LA my whole life.
I don't know. There's a lot of other places. So Phantasm, I think, is playing in the background.
Yeah, it started auto-playing.
Yeah. And so I'm just like watching.
Yeah.
I don't know, like just somewhere else. So I'm thinking back on Kansas. I'm thinking like my brother Mike, and like, where's Mike?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I want to talk to him. Like I want to find him.
Yeah.
But not for good reasons.
Just to satiate your own ego.
Just to be like, what the fuck? So I'll just say like, so you're still working with Sam? Is he representing you or?
Yeah, so Sam, he set up a TV production company in '93, and I was actually like one of his first shows, one of his first productions. So yeah, we got a good thing going on, you know. He's a good guy, real friendly, real trustworthy. You can trust that guy. He's never tried to screw me over. I've never heard anyone else say a bad word about him. You know.
I want to visit him.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure that can be arranged.
Okay.
Not a problem. I'll make a call in the morning.
Thanks.
And, of course. I mean, you know Celeste.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she works for him now.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, she's the head of his music label.
Right.
Yeah, man. We're all doing okay. We're all doing okay.
Right. So I'm just like don't know what
integrating.
Yeah, because then I'm thinking about I'm flashing back to these vampires that were in the park, and the lupine were chasing them, and they mentioned my grandsire. I'm just thinking, like, where are they? And like, I have to find them if they survive the night.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be like, have you heard from Amy? Because like my memory then flashes to that poster.
Yeah.
And then I'm still feeling that heaviness on my chest.
I haven't heard from her in a while, man. Like, last I heard, she was in Japan, I think. But I don't know if she ever came back or not.
What about her brother?
Same, man. Like, yeah, I exchanged letters with him a little bit because he was definitely in Japan. He was like attending high school there. So he wrote me a couple times, and I don't know, I guess he graduated, and, you know, life moves on. I don't hear from most of the kids I taught back then, but that's okay. I know that. Oh yeah, man. I had this like, I was doing this thing for a little while while I was working on Nightlife Chronicles. I mean, Nocturne Chronicles. And yeah, like while I was, at night, I'd like work on the script, and then in the morning I'd head out, and I was like doing this thing for like troubled youth, right? And like just teaching them how to surf and stuff. It was pretty cool.
So when he says troubled youth, and I'm like thinking back on Karen, and like I'm just like, my mind goes instantly back to that night when Amy cut her head off.
Right.
Cut her head off, and
yeah,
I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So then my mind flashes back to those pictures, and I think about that kid that reminded me that looks like Amy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, huh. Well, yeah, I've been gone for a while. I was sleeping up at Griffith Park.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Something woke me up.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to follow that lead, but some lupines, werewolves. Werewolves interrupted us.
Oh, no shit.
There's a fire going on?
Oh, yeah. I saw that on the 11 o'clock news. Yeah. Shit. A fire over in Griffith Park. You're right. I wonder how that's going.
Yeah, hopefully it's out.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you up, but I'm going to the sun's probably going to come up soon.
All right. Yeah, no worries, man. Like, I think you got a couple hours at least, 3, 4 or 5 hours even. But, yeah, you're right. It's getting a little late. So listen, obviously, I know you're coming. So I didn't have I didn't have a light-proof room set up for you or anything, but...
Well, as long as you have some foil, I can just...
No, yeah, that's okay, man. Like, the room that you were in, it's got pretty heavy drapes you can pull, and then just like old times, you could get in the closet there, and, those doors are heavy. There's no light's gonna get in there.
It's like a walk-in closet.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
All right, maybe I'll just go in the walk-in closet.
Yeah, you should be fine. I'll make sure no one disturbs you.
I'm feeling nervous.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Derek. You're really a good friend.
Hey, man. I owe a lot of this to you. So anything I can do for you, you just let me know. And
Yeah, if you haven't seen Phantasm, you should totally just chill here and watch it.
Sure.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. Yeah, you should go to bed.
All right. So he heads off to his bathroom, and you can hear him like brushing his teeth and stuff, you know. And then reemerges in his PJs and wishes you good night one more time. Heads over to the other side of the bedroom and crawls up under the blankets. And very soon you hear his rhythmic breathing noises. So
I'm going to walk outside. I'm going to just go outside.
Onto the deck or out onto the sidewalk?
Deck.
Okay. So you're taking in this very tranquil, affluent neighborhood, right? And the winds have died down quite a bit, finally. So far off in the distance, you can hear helicopters. But other than that, it's a quiet night in LA as you sort of contemplate the silver moon shining down over the light polluted sky. Right. You know, very few stars are visible. So what are you thinking?
Wonder where my coyote is. And I start thinking like he's probably long dead. Maybe I need a new coyote.
Faster, better.
But I'm also like sending out little signal like I don't remember the name. I don't think I do remember the name. So I'll say like Brunhilde. Because I'm remembering Professor Gregory.
That's right.
Her name. Like, no way. Like you're her grandchild?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Right. You?
So I'll say Brunhilde. Like seeing if that causes any like vibration into the ether.
Yeah.
And I just I have my hands on the railing and I just like I'm mad. Like I look down at my hands and they're fur covered and like I'm like the wood splintering slightly under my grasp.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I let it go.
Okay.
And then I'm feeling slow again. So I head inside.
Alrighty, head on downstairs and
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you get in the walk-in closet, close the door, settle in under a rack of pants.
Right.
And your eyes slowly close and you sleep. So lose a blood point. It begins.
Okay.
All right, so let me think here. So you were last seen hurling yourself down the side of a hill in Griffith Park.
Yeah, that's right.
You then attacked somebody.
I did.
So they would have gotten a good look at you. So you've definitely been submitted to a police report.
Okay. Well, they didn't take any photos of me.
No, but they could give a reasonable description of you. Which would have then collated with the fire marshal, you know. So you're out there, you're in the system, you've been noted. But you were then picked up with no witnesses and spirited away to Beverly Hills. So you got away without leaving a trail.
Yay!
So you wake up November 1st, and what is your intention? What do you want to do?
Here we go.
Yeah.
You're
You're in the pilot seat.
So I need to feed before I do anything.
Okay.
So I need to figure out a way to get some blood. I think I might ask Derek for a little bit of money.
Sure.
Because I don't have access to my accounts or anything.
Right.
But I don't know how I would gain access to those.
You could write a letter to the bank. Like you would have the information. You would remember the bank and everything,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And just write a letter and explain like, hey, I've been out of the country and
So I'll do that first.
Okay.
And then I'll ask him for a little bit of money so that I could get some clothes. And then I got to go out.
Yeah. Okay.
Are my hands back to normal?
Yes.
Okay. My eyes aren't, though. I need sunglasses.
You do.
So I'll ask him, can I borrow some sunglasses? Yeah.
Get you some Wayfarers.
Put them on and go out and get some clothes.
Okay.
Like a backpack.
So when you say go out, how are you going out?
What do you mean?
You're in a residential neighborhood in Beverly Hills. How are you planning to
Derek
convey?
has a driver.
Oh, so you're just going to
take me to
use
the mall.
his driver?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just take me to
the
mall.
Beverly Hills Center or whatever it's called.
Beverly Center.
Beverly Center.
Get some clothes and backpack and...
Okay, so it being November, of course, the sunset time. Let's see here. Los Angeles sunset time. All right. It's going to be fairly early, so you would be able to still get to the mall before they close, I'm sure.
Mall usually closes at like 9 o'clock. At least back then.
Yeah. Shop till you drop. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, there's the different twilights. So you're up and about by 6:30. So you have to write the letter, got to get all that stuff. So I'd say by the time you're heading out for the Beverly Center, it's 7:30. Is that reasonable? And so you stroll in like an hour before closing, which is actually perfect for you because there's hardly anybody there.
Right.
It is a Sunday night, by the way.
Okay.
So Saturday night Halloween. So that's why it was so
wild.
active.
Yeah.
It's
a good one.
And what do you want to hit up? Like Nordstrom Rack or something? JCPenney. Okay.
I see the basics like
Yeah.
t-shirts, jeans, sneakers.
Derek loaned you some Birkenstocks.
Yeah.
Just so that you could
Yeah.
get around without causing a scene,
Socks, maybe like a dress shirt and slacks with like a jacket, nothing major.
Yeah.
Like just really simple.
Yeah.
Again, these are just like all like navy blue t-shirt,
Yeah.
dark denim,
Okay.
Converse, I guess.
Shopping montage ensues.
Yeah.
Converse. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, by the time the PA is announcing closing in 15 minutes, you've loaded up, nearly a half dozen bags and
a backpack.
And you are heading out and meeting your driver. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm back home, I guess, back at Derek's place.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll say, did you contact Sam?
So he says, "Oh yeah, I talked to him this morning, and he would love to meet you. He says that you can find him in the old usual spot.
He's still at the Beverly
Hills Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so he'd be happy to meet up with you anytime." He said.
Is he? Do you know if he's in tonight?
Should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
It's a Sunday night. I don't think he's got anywhere to go.
Okay. So I'm gonna just put on my, dark blue t-shirt, jeans, Converse, and just head over there.
Okay. So, nicely, conveniently situated to where you're currently dwelling, and your driver.
I got a couple different pairs of sunglasses, by the way.
Nice.
So
you do note a slight shift in sunglass design. They're more sort of like wraparound.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting the Ray-Bans.
Fly eye style.
Nope. No, getting Ray-Bans.
Silver.
Wrong.
Right. Silver plastic.
No.
All right. You also noticed an alarming increase in frosted tips amongst the male shoppers in the mall. So,
yeah.
But seems to be the preppy look is sort of back in, right?
Yeah.
So you, I love that you missed grunge entirely. You just
So
slept
sad.
through grunge.
So sad. Very sad.
He went from Guns N' Roses to
Whatever
fucking
the fuck this is.
Sugar Ray or whatever the fuck.
Oh my gosh. Ay, ay, ay.
3 Doors Down.
Yikes.
Anyway, so all right, so
Very
yeah,
sad.
your driver takes you around and drops you off at the lobby and says he'll be waiting when you're ready.
Okay.
You head in, walk through the lobby, walk out into the back area with a little bungalow style units, I guess.
Yeah.
Units. And but you haven't even walked all the way across the pool area when you hear a voice, Aaron. And you look over, and there's Sam Morningstar in sort of like vintage style swim trunks, just like laid out on a deck chair.
It's so warm outside.
Yeah. It's the Santa Ana winds are, sort of causing that little late summer resurgence.
Well, it's November.
Yeah.
Late summer. It's fall.
I know. Well,
Deeply in fall.
it carries over into fall is what I'm
Okay,
saying.
okay. All right.
False summer, I guess is what I was trying to say. But yeah, so he gets up and walks over and he says, I always like to end my day with a few laps in the heated pool and then just relax near the poolside. So good timing.
Yeah. Hi, Sam.
And unlike Derek, he doesn't look like he's aged at all.
Right.
He's still the handsome, furry-browed devil that he always was. And in fact, you've never seen him with his shirt off. He's quite hairy.
Oh, he's a fuzz.
He's a fuzz monster. So
Okay. So
anyway, one of his assistants brings a robe over and he slips into it. He's like, let's head back.
yeah, let's.
All right.
So I'm just like, oh, I need blood.
Oh, my God.
But I already know where I want to go. So
What are you at?
7.
Okay. So you're not
Yeah, I know.
capital H hungry, but you want
Verging. Like I want a full.
In a couple nights, you'll be hungry. So
I can't.
yeah.
Tonight I have to feed.
Tonight's the
I
night.
have to feed.
Okay. And you know
So-
where you want to go.
Yes.
All right.
So I'll be like, Sam, looks like you've really helped Derek succeed.
Well, Derek helped himself succeed. He's a talented guy, ambitious, great vision. And yeah, I was happy to have him on board. He really helped out with the launch of my production company. So
Yeah. What's the name of your production company?
oh, I'm very imaginative, so of course I have Morningstar Records.
Oh.
Naturally, it's Morningstar Production
I
Company.
see. Yes.
Yeah.
But Nocturne Chronicles.
I just wanted to class it up a little bit. I thought if people heard nightlife, they would think like clubs or, bars, going around, those sorts of places. Needed something that sounded mysterious.
Uh-huh.
That was my modest contribution. Everything else was Derek.
Yeah, it's right from what you know, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he gives you a little wink.
So what happened to Wade Bell?
Well, Aaron, I'm not going to lie, you did leave us in a little bit of a lurch.
Is he mixing himself a drink right now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's over at the drink cart.
Yeah.
You did leave us in a little bit of a lurch there, but it's okay.
I feel like he would be making a Bloody Mary for some stupid reason
Okay.
at night. Like, I don't know why. It just feels so like...
All right, sure.
yeah.
He's like,
Maybe I just want a V8 right now.
there you go. So he walks over and, you're seated in the sort of conference area of the office,
Yeah.
and so he sits down opposite you and
Or of the suite, you mean?
the suite, yeah. Well, office suite, yes.
Yeah.
So he takes the couch opposite you and takes a little sip off his Bloody Mary and then sort of makes a little face like, it's okay. And then sets it down and he's like, he says, but you know what? It was okay in the end because, it gave us an opportunity to indulge in one of those great sales techniques of the recording industry, the tragic early death of the rising star. So if you were to go into the newspaper archives, you would see all kinds of coverage about how Wade Bell tragically passed away in a helicopter crash on May 1st, 1992. And I'll tell you, your sales doubled. So royalty checks have been going into your offshore holding account. So when you get a chance to check your bank account, I'm sure you'll be very happy with the numbers that you see there.
I see.
Yep. I've been making sure you get paid
Thanks,
quarter per your contract because, hey, Wade Bell might have died, but I didn't know. I know folks like you have a way of coming and going unexpectedly.
True. Thanks. I appreciate that, Sam.
Of course. My pleasure. Well, what brings you in here today? Obviously, we can't bring back Wade Bell, but I'm sure we could work something out.
I wasn't really anticipating that. I just wanted to touch base and, I don't know, just check to see how you were doing.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Aaron. Very kind indeed.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm doing okay.
I don't know. The last time I saw you, you seemed like you were being pursued by something.
Yeah, well, I do still have to keep something of a low profile. I have some enemies. I have some enemies, but honestly, last few years have been a lot easier. I don't know why exactly, but just a lot fewer obstacles in my way. I got my TV production company off the ground. Sales for the music label are great, steady and rising. Got some really good, talented artists who used to be on some other labels. I was able to bring them in, offer them good deals. Things have really seemed, just a lot smoother.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good things come to those who wait.
All right. Well, thanks for meeting with me. I don't really have any ideas right now. But considering that Derek, I don't know. Do you have any screeners of his show? I've never seen it.
Of course, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So he heads over to a media cabinet and opens the doors and he's like, oh, here we go. And pulls a couple VHS tapes off the shelf, walks back over, hands them to you.
Thanks.
Yeah, keep them.
Okay.
And yeah, they're, the art on the slipcase looks exactly like the posters that you saw. And between the two cassettes, it appears to be the whole of season 1.
Okay.
And it's not for resale and, preview only.
Right.
Yeah. So.
It's embossed with these gold stamps on it.
Right.
So, great. Well, thanks, Sam. I'll be in touch.
I would certainly hope so, Aaron. My door is always open.
Thanks. So I'll leave.
Okay.
I'm just kind of a lonely, listless sort of a thing right now.
Right. Well, you're trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, what the hell happened?
What is the word on the street?
So I get into the car and I'll just say, does Club Zombie still exist? To the driver.
So the driver looks a little confused and he's like, I don't think so. I
give him the intersection. It's a club at blah and blah.
Wah, wah, wah. So he's like, oh, right, that old place. No, that's all shuttered. That's closed up. Hey, if you're looking for a fun place to go that's not too far away.
Not Circus Disco.
No, that's... hey, I've had some clients who do like to go to clubs in West Hollywood, but...
And then I was like, oh yeah, it was a gay bar.
A really popular club that's just opened up a couple years ago is called The Asylum. It's over in Burbank.
Take me there.
Let's go. Or Universal City, actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, and then I start thinking the asp hole.
Right. There was the asp hole.
So I remember it. As soon as I remember it, then I just go, was there a place called the asp hole?
Yeah. That's a club in Hollywood, I think.
Is that still open?
Yeah, they're still around.
Let's go to the asylum first.
All right. So, off you go. Okay. So, yeah, you wend your way over to Universal City. Last visited, I think, when you encountered Bella.
Yes.
I forget why you went to Universal Studios. What
there was something around something with Karen. Oh, like I was something about finding Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I was looking for her, and then like the ad came up for that, and it was like vibrating, like the castle. It's like, oh, she's there, you know.
Right.
So, but she wasn't.
Even though she wasn't. Yeah. I'm sure I had my reasons. All right,
sure
so let's see here.
You like those red herrings?
Hey, it's not a red herring. All right, so
Burbank.
Yes, Universal City. All right, so okay, so you pull up outside this location in Universal City. It definitely looks like it's hopping.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
It's kind of a larger club with a velvet rope and a line outside and cars pulling up and pulling away and so forth. And so the driver says, you know, I'm going to head back to Derek's place, but if you want me to come pick you up, here's my card. This has my pager number on it. I'll come over and get you.
Thanks.
Sure thing, Mr. Evans.
I'll just leave my backpack in the car. Like,
oh, okay.
Just wearing my clothes. I have clothes and sunglasses. That's all I need.
Right.
So I'll put the card in my pocket.
Yep.
Jean pocket and walk up.
Alrighty. So
I'm still a striking person.
You are a striking person.
I look like I'm famous.
That's true. So let's talk about your fame a little bit. What do you think?
I don't know. My fame's probably like back to 1 or something. Like people might remember me from a soap opera.
You may remember me from such.
Yeah, exactly. Operas. But like, I think I'm definitely not famous, but I look like I'm famous.
Right. Okay. Interesting. So maybe the fame one could be like, don't I know you from something? Okay.
Yeah. Were you in that commercial? Or?
Yeah, right. Were you in that Verizon commercial?
Exactly.
All right.
I don't know what Verizon is. So
yeah. What is that? All right. So you are walking up towards the guy at the front. So what do you want to do? How do you want to get in?
I mean, I'm gonna wait in line.
Oh, you're gonna wait. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not expecting special treatment. I don't know anyone here.
True.
I want to like be sneaky.
Okay. All right. So you wait in line, and the you can hear the music pulsating from inside. Let's see if I can get it on a low level here.
Oh,
that's very fancy. That's
it's
hold
okay.
Hold on. That's all right. No, that's right. We're good. There we go. Okay. So you're waiting in line, and you don't have to wait too long before you get to the front, and the bouncer is there, and he takes a look at you, and he just waves you in. Okay, so you walk in. All right. So it gives you Club Zombie vibes right away.
Okay.
But it's sort of like, unlike Club Zombie, which was more like kind of an 80s goth industrial club, this one's like more sort of open plan.
Yeah.
So there's a big bar.
It's a big black box.
It's a big black
Let's
box.
be real.
Exactly. With like a mezzanine level,
Yeah.
and then there's a bar over to the side. And then like some, strobe lights and stuff, like little rotating.
It's not as fun as Club Zombie.
No, it's not. The 90s goths take themselves way more seriously.
Yes, they do.
So
I walk in there.
Okay.
I'm looking around.
All right. So let's do a perception plus awareness roll.
Oh, God. What? Wait a minute. Okay.
We'll say 6.
Right. 2.
Okay. So you sense that most of the people in here are mortals.
Yeah, most.
You're definitely, you can sense that there's probably some fellow kindred about. But let's see, 2 successes is a moderate. Okay, moderate. So yeah, there's definitely some kindred loitering about, but you can't pinpoint where exactly they are. But, right now it's all about the hunt, right? Okay. So let's see here. What is your approach? How would you like to approach this?
I think I'm going to be a little charming. And, I'm not above dancing. So, I can just, get on the floor, start dancing.
Yeah.
See if anybody is drawn to me.
Okay. All right. So, let's see here. It's usually oh, right. Okay, so we're going to be doing a manipulation roll.
Okay.
You can do your choice depending on your precise approach.
Okay. I have charisma. And my appearance as well.
That's right, appearance. Oh, right. Okay, so we can go off of appearance, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, your choice of either subterfuge or expression, depending on how you're trying to lure someone.
I'm just vibing.
You're vibing. Certainly. All right.
Okay. 6.
Actually, but you have a friendly face, don't you?
I do.
So it makes it a 5.
5. 7. I didn't need that 5.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even need the friendly face bonus.
Nope, I did not.
Oh my God, humble brag. All right, so you very, very in short order start attracting folks over to dance with you.
My dumbass jeans and t-shirt.
I know, right? Yeah, this guy's so cool. He doesn't even have to dress like a goth.
No.
I
goth. Fit in. I am goth. I am in the embodiment.
You are fashion.
That's right.
All right, so yeah, so you're dancing with some cute goth chicks and stuff, and even some guys have sort of wandered over.
It's also a little bit like, we can turn him into a goth.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
He's just trying, and he's so cute.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what we can do. Make over at some point.
Yes. You're you're so innocent and pure. They want to corrupt you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, easy enough to find a secluded corner and munch. Munchy munch. So I'm going to say with those 7 successes over the course of the night.
I don't want to steal any thunder, but God, I wish Patricia was the barkeeper of this place. Anyway, hopefully she's far away from here.
Yes. So over the course of the night, you are able to sippy sip your way to 7 blood points.
7 total?
Total,
In
yeah.
addition to what I have?
Yes, in addition, yes.
Okay. Nice. All right. So I'm happy with that.
All right.
So it's kind of like taking me back.
Yeah.
So now it's like I have memories upon memories. So memories of a human life and then my vampiric life.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, really.
It's very surreal. This feels like a dream.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Not fully.
Yeah.
I'm still I'm wondering how long it takes for a torpor to wear off. There's this reintegration to this timeline. I think it takes some time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it still feels dreamlike.
Yeah.
And just the same old shit. It's very boring. So I leave.
Well.
Oh no! So I've been munching on some of the goth kids.
You finished up with your latest snack, and you're sort of daintily wiping the corners of your mouth, and as you reemerge from the shadows, and you can see from across the darkened room.
Yes, who is it?
Someone's been monitoring you.
Monitoring?
Yeah, because you can tell that they were watching you the whole time, and they're very striking in appearance. So you're pretty sure you would have seen her earlier, but she's sort of impishly draped on the railing on a mezzanine, right? So she's kind of got her arms hanging over the side of the railing, which is very it's even more what do I want to say? it's even more risque than that simple description might imply.
Okay.
Because she's in a like total like fetish level schoolgirl outfit.
Oh.
She's got like the white shirt tied at the midriff. She's got the plaid.
Is it all
skirt.
vinyl though?
It's not. It does look real, but it's
Okay.
like I mean fetish in the sense of like it's sexualized.
Right.
It's highly
Okay,
sexualized.
got it.
She's got fishnets on.
Okay. Yeah.
Her blonde hair is tied up in pigtails.
Okay.
And she's got this like grin on her face. Her eye makeup is very heavy, very like gothy, and her skin is like alabaster white. So you don't even have to roll to know she's a kindred.
Yeah. So I mean, I just am looking at her with my dumbass sunglasses on. I dare not take them off. So I'm like squinting at her from behind the sunglasses. So you might see the crinkles around my eyes, like, you know, but my eyes are totally covered.
Right.
And I'll just shrug.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she straightens up and descends the steps and begins making her way across the floor
Okay.
towards you.
All right.
And she's got this little, wicked grin on her face. And she walks up towards you and she's like looking up at you. She's, short-ish, like 5'5".
Yeah.
And she runs her hand across your pecs in a very sort of like aggressive way. And she's like, leans in a little and she's like, "You're new in town."
That's what you think.
Oh, really? Well, I like to think I know all the kindred in Los Angeles, and I've never seen you before.
Well, I've never seen you before.
Ha! Fine. Have it your way. And she takes your hand to lead you out onto the dance floor. Okay?
All right.
Go with her?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you do some, like, spastic goth dancing for a little while.
What? Fast? Why is it spastic?
Like throwing your arms around and stuff.
No, we're just dancing. We're just dancing to the music.
All right.
She might be doing that. I'm not.
She is.
Okay. So she's doing some bloodlines dancing?
She's doing some bloodlines dancing, and she's
Okay.
sort of dancing up on you a lot,
Okay. Yeah, I'll receive it. It's fine.
Okay. And, I mean, you're vampires. You can dance as long as you want.
Yeah.
So you dance for a while.
Yeah.
And then, she takes your hand again after a while and starts leading you off the floor. And past, back up onto the mezzanine that you saw her on initially. But then you go in amongst the tables, and there's like these dark red velvet curtains all along the wall. And she pulls one aside, and you see a door.
Oh.
And it says employees only. And she just opens it and walks back. And she's leading you back through the door.
Okay, so I'm following her.
Okay. So the music almost immediately drops off. It's like soundproofed, And she turns around. She's like, that's better. Sorry. I didn't want to introduce myself out on the dance floor and have to shout it into your ear. I'm Jeanette Vorman. She puts her hand out.
I'll take it. Nice to meet you.
I'm the co-owner of this club.
How long have you been here?
Well, we opened the club about 3 years ago. So I guess we came here not too long before that.
Who's we?
Oh, me and my twin sister, Teresa.
Are you like identical twins or?
Yeah, although you wouldn't really know it. She's the business-minded one.
I see.
I'm just here to have a good time.
How long have you been kindred?
Oh gosh, a while now.
How long?
About 20 years.
Yeah, I never really venture around here, so.
Well, I hope to see more of you.
We'll see.
Sorry, I didn't get your name.
So I take my sunglasses off. Push them up on top of my head like a dork.
Yeah.
And I'm Aaron Evans.
Ooh, look at you. And she leans in to sort of squint at you, and she's like, I like it. Freaky. I like to get freaky.
I'm not surprised by that.
So
She hasn't heard of me.
Nope.
I love it. That's good. I feel relief.
Yeah.
I feel some relief from that.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Or else she's a really good liar.
True.
Either way,
Yeah.
I'm loving it. So
she says, this may be an indelicate question, Aaron, but are you with the Camarilla?
I don't care about any of those groups.
Oh, I mean, I don't really care either, you know.
Why are you asking then?
Well, just because Teresa and I, we don't really put much stock in the prince, and so
Who's the prince?
man, you must be new in town. Lacroix? Sebastian Lacroix?
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't say that. He says, well, I was asleep for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, I get that. No, he's the she does the finger quotes, Prince of Los Angeles. Yeah, right. But
When did that happen?
like about 3 years ago, I guess.
So you were around when Louis was around.
Yeah, Louis Fortier. I remember him.
What happened to him?
Hell if I know.
In Salvador? I'm just going to throw out names.
Yeah. Yeah, Salvador. Yeah.
Mohammed.
Was he... Oh, right. He was the Crip Son guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not around anymore.
What happened?
It's all about El Hermandad now.
Who's in charge of that?
Nines Ramirez.
Mines. What about Jesus Hernandez?
Jesus Ramirez, you mean?
Oh, he was Ramirez? Oh, I thought he was Hernandez.
No. Yeah, same guy.
Nines?
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know. When he took over the gang, he started asking people to call him that, and, you know, whatever.
When's the next rant?
I don't know. Teresa keeps track of that kind of shit.
It's like a full moon the other night.
Yeah,
So next month, probably.
I guess so. I never go to those things.
They're kind of good to go to.
Whatever.
I knew someone else who was just as cavalier as you, and it was not in her best interest to be that way. You should know what's going on.
If you say so.
Yeah, so she's giving me some Karen vibes.
Yeah,
Of like, I don't
yeah.
give a fuck.
Yeah,
I just like to party.
I just let a party.
Yeah.
So she's like she's still looking at you like kind of yeah, you're in this office, by the way. I don't know if I made that clear. You know, you kind of walked back into this
yeah.
little like back office,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, she's still kind of giving you this look, and she's like wait, what did you say your name was?
Aaron Evans. I put my sunglasses back on.
Oh. I think Teresa told me that I should be on the lookout for someone named Aaron.
What? So I kind of laugh. I kind of
Yeah.
laugh to spite myself.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Where's Teresa now?
She's probably up in the office, up in the
So I'll say, let's see Teresa right now.
so she's like, fine. And so she goes over and opens a side door, and you see just some steps going straight up. She's like, I got to get out on the floor. You know, I have a job to do myself. And she seems like a little pissed off at you for like wanting to like conduct business
Just
rather than continue to
Give
flirt.
me a rain check.
Fine. It's a Sunday night anyway. Everything's dead around here. And she kind of like gives you this like little smirk at her own little pun, you know. She's like, but you know, happy hour starts early on Mondays, so just saying.
All right.
See you around, Aaron. And she
Bye.
like walks off, like swinging her hips back and forth in a very exaggerated fashion, you know.
All right. So I'll walk up the steps and knock on the door.
There's no answer.
Teresa?
Nothing.
Try the knob.
It's open.
Open it up.
Walk in. You're in a windowless room.
Oh, no.
It's steel walls. No.
No.
No, it's very well furnished, nicely appointed. Again, with the sort of dark red fabric and, you know, dark wood paneling and stuff. And in fact, it's even done up to look a little a little homey. There's a little fireplace over in the corner, of course, completely empty because, vampires no like the fires.
Right.
But above the fireplace, there's like this giant oil portrait, and it shows these two young girls, identical, and like this man in a pinstripe suit looks like a, kind of mid-century industrialist or tycoon or something, and he's got his hands like sort of placed on both their shoulders in a very sort of like maybe intended to be protective but sort of more possessive way, and they're all staring at you. So
it's like Jeanette and Teresa.
Yeah, and they're in their little like pinafore gowns, and then as you're taking that in, you hear a panel slide shut behind you, and turning, you see a woman who you can tell she's related to Jeanette. For one thing, she has the same kind of alabaster skin and the blonde hair, but this is like pinned up in a French bun and these like little tortoise shell rim glasses, and then she's just wearing like a sort of burgundy power suit,
minimal or no makeup.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just sort of like some mascara and but yeah, she's walking in, and she's got like a little like folder in her arms, like she was back in the archives or something. And she says, "Oh, hello. I assume Jeanette sent you up here."
Yeah, she said to be on the lookout for Aaron Evans.
Oh, you're Mr. Evans.
Yes.
Very good. Well, Mr. Evans, I have a message for you. And she like walks over to her desk, and she like takes out her day planner and like flips back. And she says, yes, this is a message. I got a phone call about 3 days ago, actually.
3 days ago.
Yeah, someone was looking for you. They didn't leave a name. They did leave this number, and they said that if you happen to come into the club to please pass this along and have you give them a call.
So
she hands you the paper,
take it.
And
I open it.
It's a 213 area code. Looks unfamiliar to you.
They didn't leave a name?
No. Do you know anyone from Europe?
Probably.
No. It was a woman. She had a German accent.
Great. Thanks so much.
Oh, of course. Your name's not very familiar to me. Are you new in town?
No.
No.
But I seem to have completely missed you and your sister, so.
Well, we haven't been in the city very long ourselves.
How long?
Well, we opened the club about 3 years ago.
Oh, so you moved from somewhere else?
Yes, indeed. We were originally in Chicago.
Oh. I see. That's probably why you haven't heard of me.
Oh, I see. Should I have?
Possibly. Thanks. So I'll leave.
Yeah.
And find the nearest payphone.
All right, so you step out into the vibrant Universal City night, and you dial the number at a payphone, and
good old payphones.
Rings a couple times, and then the phone picks up, and you hear a voice on the other end. It's this very like husky, kind of low register woman's voice, and she's like, "Yes, hello.
This is Aaron Evans."
Ah, my grandchild.
What?
I have some questions for you, Aaron. When can we meet?
Tonight.
Great. I look forward to you telling me how you allowed my child to be killed in such a brutal manner. And then click.
Where am I gonna meet you?
Yeah, you're like, wait, I didn't even tell you where I am. Yeah.
So she says that,
Yeah.
and I'm like getting more and more progressively surprised.
Yeah.
And then she hangs up, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you didn't even tell me where you are. And then I hang up.
And
God damn it.
that's where we will leave it off. So.
Oh no.
Grandma's pissed.
That's fine. Dude, I have some bones to pick with her ass. So if she thinks she's coming for me, I'm coming for her.
I'll go to your room and cut your fucking wigs up.
That's right.
All right. All right. So,
Aww.
one more thing to do.
Wow.
We're back, baby. All right.
We're back.
You get 1 experience point for showing up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What have you learned?
I learned that coming out of torpor is very disorienting.
Indeed. Okay.
And I've learned that... Was that the dog?
That was the dog.
She's like...
She's staring at me. Oh my God.
Can you please feed me dinner?
Yes, for the record, it's
Dude,
15 minutes
15
before her
minutes.
dinner time.
It's not even remotely.
She looks so serious right now.
She's like, no.
It's so funny.
I need food.
She's just like staring so intently at me. All right, go on.
I learned coming out of torpor is difficult.
Yes.
And things are very strange, but the more things change, the more they stay the same. I have a trusted ally in Derek, which is surprising.
Yeah.
And Sam.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the hell Sam is, so...
Oh, to your question, just really quickly, because we do have to feed the dog.
Well,
Where
it's not
did
going to take that long.
Yeah, well,
She'll be fine.
she'll be fine. So your mentor
Yeah.
dots, you can have that be for Sam.
Oh,
if
really?
You would like. If you would like.
No, I need to stay with Christopher Houghton. He's the other contact I need to find.
True. Resources, obviously, self-explanatory.
Yeah, but
you still have your
I
3
still have
dots.
3, yeah. I don't have a coyote, so I don't have any of those.
You don't have a retainer. Yeah.
Well, my retainer was my band.
No, your retainer was coyote.
Oh.
And then your
I
band
don't think
was
we-
a herd, I believe, but I think
No,
you
it
got rid
wasn't.
of that.
But it's
Well,
okay.
even if they were your retainers, yeah, you don't have them now.
Is my status still 1?
Technically, let's say it is still a 1 because once you start circulating among some of the older residents of LA, they will remember you. They'll be like, "Oh, it's the old Baron of West LA."
Yeah, 9s.
Right. Nice.
What about contacts?
Contacts? Yeah, that would be the other one.
Would that be Sam?
That could be Sam.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be Sam.
Okay.
All right. So role playing. Yes. Take a point for role playing, please.
Really?
Absolutely.
Aww.
And I'm going to give you a point for heroism because you made sure that kid was going to live, and I thought that was a right proper thing you did, Mr. Frodo. So.
Domain. I'm just going to put domain here for the time being because I'm probably going to have another domain.
Right.
Can I get that willpower point back or no? It's the same night. No.
I think you get. I'll have to
don't
look
think
it
so.
up. I'll have to look it
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
I know in
wanted to-
Chronicles you automatically get it back. You get a point back every night,
Yes,
but
I don't think so.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
I'll make a note to do that.
All right.
Okie dokie. Well, that's it for now. Any thoughts?
Off to a great start.
Good. Okay.
This is going to be live.
It is going to be live. All right.
I'd like to take a moment to thank all of our patrons, both past and present. And thanks as always to those of you backing us at priest level and above. This includes Jonathan Morgantini, Marley Griffin, James Gilbreth, Hunt Cal, Jathar 132, Mika Tertianen, N.J. Colton, Ptolemy, and Just Barbarian Things,